Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, and so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show. Booyah!
Live! Here we are. It is a Friday. I don't know what the hell happened to Jay. Apparently he's sick. If I get sick, Jay, I'm telling you, I know you're watching the show right now. If I get sick, I'm sitting in your chair. If I get sick 28 hours before I go on a plane, I'm going to be ticked off, guys.
Now, 2 years ago, that could have been a death sentence.
That's right.
What?
I'm going to come here with wipes wiping off the chair.
Keep them germs over there.
Yeah. Get out of here.
Jay, we hope you feel better.
Yeah.
No, just don't get me sick. I don't care if he feels better or not. All right, we got a lot to get to on today's show. DeQuell Jackson is going to join us. We'll get to the Guardians later, and we're going to do Ask the Show, where we'll answer your wacky, wild questions about anything. Tyvus will share his sex life stories and all of that. That's coming up a little bit later in the show.
Come on now,
but we begin with the latest on Deshaun Watson, and the latest is there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. The AP is reporting, guys, that the word will not come down today. Rob Motti, I think that's how you pronounce his name, from the AP. The waiting game for a decision on Deshaun Watson's discipline will continue into next week. According to two sources, he goes on to say in the article, there will be no decision by Judge Robinson today. So we are on to next week. I mean, we're all frustrated. I get it.
I wanted the Friday news dump. I really did. I was banking on it.
You couldn't have thought that was coming. I told you weeks ago what was happening here.
Tell us again. Refresh our memory.
Here, arbitration works like this. Once
Yeah.
they make their final case, the judge, you get your final briefs into the judge. And it usually takes some time.
Yeah.
When people were talking about it was going to happen before camp, I'm like, there's no way that's coming before the camp, right? So this could still be a couple weeks out. It still could be a couple weeks out.
I hope so, because I don't want to come down next week.
I'm just telling you, in my experiences, that what has happened is it always is a long time, right? Some are longer than others, but it's not quick.
So is it going to bleed into the season?
No, I ain't going to go that
Okay.
far.
But maybe after the first preseason
I'm
game.
going to ask you this. Okay. We're going to get an opportunity to see Deshaun Watson in action before they give a sort of a decision
When is the preseason
on the
game?
suspension.
First preseason
I think it's the 4th.
Well, I can tell you.
No.
I can tell you this.
No, not that
No,
early.
that's early. You're talking about the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
game.
that's what the season
It's the week after that.
You will see him under center in a uniform for a while here, right? And then the other thing, I'll just tell you this, G. We don't know which way this thing is going to swing at the end of the day, right? And then I'm concerned about this. I was telling Tyvus before the show. The Browns dropping like flies. Like flies. I mean, every day somebody going down.
We'll get to that in one second, Brett.
saying that.
But hold on. The Browns' first preseason game is 2 weeks from today. Exactly 2 weeks from today, August the 12th. Brett, do you think we're going to have a decision before then?
Yeah, I think you'll get one before this one. Because I think that all arms are going to come to bear on her, right? This is not the city of whatever asking for relief from an arbitrator.
Yeah.
I think the power of the NFL and the media perception, you got all national media here in town waiting for this to occur.
Right.
And so this is going to go down. So I'm sure it's coming together, but it's not. I never expected it at the beginning of camp. I knew it was going to be sometime after camp, and I just think it's probably, in all honesty, going to come before the first preseason game.
You know, selfishly, I don't want it to happen next week. Sorry for you guys, because you'll be here. I'm off next week, and I don't want it to happen while I'm on vacation because I want to be able to talk about it when it does. But who knows? I mean, so you think it'll happen sometime in the next 14 days?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the best guess.
I don't know whether I'm excited about this or I don't know how to feel because you can't really project. I can't say, well, since it's taking this long, we good. Or since it's taking this long, this looks bad.
Yeah.
We had they done waited you all the way out. You don't know which way it's gonna go. And I think that it also puts, and we'll talk about this kind of later, I don't know if this their indecision on not knowing when the suspension is coming, how that is going to affect their roster management.
Yeah.
Because right now, it seems like the Browns are in a hold period.
Yeah. Well, let's get to that right now. But by the way, one other quick thing from this article that I thought was worth mentioning. I don't know if this is really news or not, but Rob Motti does say that a union rep that he spoke to said they do expect some suspension. They're not expecting zero. So even the players union saying, hey, we know it's not going to be 0, but they do expect him to play this year. All right, now you talked about it, Brad. You mentioned dropping like flies. Yeah. I personally think you're overstating a little bit.
Definitely is.
But here's the thing. G, you more than anybody, and I agree with you, but you more than anybody have been harping on the fact that the Browns need to add a wide receiver. And now Anthony Schwartz yesterday in camp, who is obviously is unproven, but the guy was a high draft pick. So they do have some expectations for him. He goes down with a non-contact injury to the knee. That's obviously probably not good. Hopefully he's going to be okay, but usually you hear non-contact the knee, it's usually not a good result. So if he is seriously injured, it seems like it's even more imperative that the Browns do something at the position.
I've been saying this all along. When they had David Bell, I've been saying it when they had Anthony Schwartz. I've been saying it when Donovan Peoples-Jones was cool. Here's the thing. You can't count on receivers, first or second year players, to come out there and hit the ground running and just be ready to go. There's a ramp up period, right? You got guys that are coming in college, and in college you can get in and out of your breaks. You just got a different gear from certain people. I know what type of speed and game time it is. You get out here and you get with the veterans, you start to notice something. Hold on, I can't pull away from cats like I used to. Where my separation? I gotta go 95% just to get what I need to get done over here. And then what happens? You don't have any acclimation period. Then there comes the hamstrings. Then there's the growing injuries. You need a time to learn as a veteran how you need to develop your body and get your body ready so you can get to the season. See, a lot of rookie cats get out there 1-2 days, all of a sudden they're on the side with the bike and the Gatorade. Now, you looking at with Anthony Schwartz, the Gatorade, sipping that cold Gatorade, that ain't going to do nothing for you. And if the Cleveland Browns got two, I understand that they're third-round picks, but you got Anthony, David Bell has a stress fracture in his foot. That's not going. So he's not going to be ramped up and ready to go.
Yeah.
First game against the Carolina Panthers. Yeah. Now you're looking at Demetric Felton. He's a nice ball player. Donovan Peoples-Jones, okay. And you got the rookies that's coming in here that you looking to put. No. Go get you a receiver and stop playing around.
Cyrus, but before you jump in, do you think the Browns are waiting for the Watson suspension news before they make a decision?
Well, I think that they were waiting to make a big-time signing, like a Will Fuller or something like that, because obviously Deshaun Watson would be perfect with Will Fuller. But now that they're having people drop, they have no choice but to add wide receivers. See, now, not only Schwartz being out, David Bell being out, now you're leaning more on Demetric Felton and all these young guys.
Right.
Now they're taking all the reps. Guess what? Now their bodies is getting beat up. And they ain't going to be ready for the season. So you got to find some guys to come in there to get some reps off of these guys. So now I think with Schwartz going down, I think they're forced to make a signing.
So I go into this. To Travis's point. Again, dropping like flies.
Will you stop with that?
No.
We don't know how long either of these guys are going to be out for.
I want you to understand this.
Yeah.
Travis, really, people didn't drop like this in no camp. They didn't. What here?
It happens every year in camp. This happens every year in camp.
This is day 2. You're a young man here. Listen to me here. Listen to the story here, because you've had all off season to put yourself in perfect position to get better. Yes, you have. You should be ramping up here. People are dropping before the season.
But it's different.
No, it's not different.
Listen, going out there running routes on air and then going out there running routes against somebody, that's two totally different games.
And by the way, guys, very important, we don't know how long either of these guys are out. Bell seems like he's going to be fine.
But this gets me back to my point. I told you a while ago, like G said, they need another receiver in here. Right? We cannot be counting on these young dudes. This is not Jamar Chase. I don't see Jamar Chase around here.
No.
I don't see him around here.
No.
Right? So go get you a proven person and bleed these young people in, right? Stop putting the stress on them.
Yeah.
Let them develop over time, and then when it's time to cut them in, we'll cut them in and cut the old dudes out. But until then, the worst thing that can happen to the Browns, the worst thing that can happen to the Browns, Travis, is this, that people start falling off here before we even get going.
That's terrible.
Guys, I think the Browns need to be aggressive right now. I don't think they should wait for the Watson suspension. I think they feel fairly secure that he's going to be suspended for part of the year and not all of the year. Mm-hmm. So I think you've got to assume that he's going to play at some point, and you're still trying to win a Super Bowl. I know even with Jacoby Brissett for 17 games, you don't want to give up. but you got to be realistic about your expectations. But if Watson's going to play at least half the season, then the sky's the limit. If you stay in it with Jacoby Brissett, you can win a Super Bowl with Deshaun Watson. We've talked a lot about Will Fuller. Obviously, his relationship with Deshaun Watson, as far as we know, is a good one. The only thing that makes me nervous about Will Fuller is we're talking about guys dropping like flies. Well, he drops like a fly.
He stay hurt.
And so that's a concern. So a guy, now this guy's really old, but he can still play, and he's very reliable. Emmanuel Sanders. I know he's 36 years old. He still played 14 games last year, had 700 yards and 4 touchdowns. The guy can still play. He's a slot receiver. I think the Browns should be in on him.
Call him up. And I know
he's been in a lot of playoff games too.
Well, Cole Beasley is another guy that's out there. Julio Jones just got. We talk about Julio. Yeah. He signed with the Buccaneers. Yeah. And Tampa Bay does this all the time.
Well, you doing all this? You might as well go get T.O. He's sitting out there.
I will say this though.
He want to work. He won't work.
I get the fact that you got Jacoby Brissett. I get that fact that you got him and you don't know what's going on with Jacoby Brissett at this point and Deshaun Watson. But listen, your veterans are looking around.
That's true.
Myles Garrett just made the comment yesterday. Hey, look, it don't matter what we need to do. The goal and the plan is to win games regardless of what it is. So he's looking at Andrew Berry. He's like, look, hey, now, I know we focus on Deshaun, but even I can see as a defensive end, you need a receiver. Right. Now, what we'll be doing here, you can't continue to come out here and with these young guys.
Well, here's the other thing. I'll just say this. This is the funny thing. The veteran receivers, the veteran players, rely on the young players to be spelling them right now. Right? Yes. I'm not working hard now. Like, work the young fella hard, right?
For sure. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, the young fella's the one falling out.
Yeah.
You got Amari Cooper.
Can you guys even name a wide receiver on the Browns besides Cooper and Donovan Peoples-Jones that's healthy?
Jamarcus Bradley. Okay. They got.
When you start doing that, that's the problem.
That's
Jakeem Grant.
Which I ever heard.
I haven't
heard or seen anything about.
I think they're planning on him being just a return guy. But
so that's why Demetric Felton is that receiver now.
At least he's caught passes in the NFL, unlike the rest of these guys. I mean,
he's a gadget guy, though. Grant is a gadget guy.
I get it, but at least he's caught passes in the NFL. The rest of these guys have not.
And that's the part that hurts so much. Grant is a gadget guy, but so is Anthony Schwartz, and we needed him to be a receiver.
They're hoping he's going to be more than that.
Hold on.
Schwartz showed that he can get open.
Man, you go look at his highlights in college. Every touch he got was a reverse, a shovel pass, a double chocolate reverse front with cherries on the top. Stop.
Obviously, they're hoping he could do more.
Yes,
but
they
we don't
were
know
hoping,
that yet.
but he was slow last year. So this year was pivotal.
So do we need one receiver? Do we need, or do we need
I'm signing Emmanuel Sanders
veteran
today.
receivers? Do we need two?
To your point, you may need two, and to your point, Jacoby Brissett needs another receiver that he can completely trust. And Emmanuel Sanders is not going to drop the ball. He's going to run perfect routes. They need to get him. I signed him today.
Do you want to bring? Listen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Listen, a vet ain't coming in at no training camp. I'm gonna tell you that right now. They old. They're not coming. I show you that I'm in shape,
especially.
But I'm not
Sanders.
doing camp. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
But Will Fuller would have to come in. He ain't that old.
T.O. will come in.
Chad Johnson, right? You
we get Calvin Johnson out of retirement.
So when they signed them, when is it important that they sign them? Probably before the season starts.
Right.
So
that's true.
It's not nothing to hit the panic button right now. But, like, it would be nice. Right now, the young guys are getting reps. With these guys going down, you bringing in these rookies, they getting all the reps. So we can make a decision on not if we can trust them when the season starts. Right. They're going to show us right now.
Let me ask you.
But once it get close, if they ain't looking good, now we sign somebody.
Let me ask you a question. The way this roster is built.
Oh, my Lord.
No, seriously. The way this roster is built, do you really want to hand the keys over to this group? I mean, they're
what
built,
you mean?
They're built for now.
I'm talking about they're going to make a signing before the season starts.
He's just saying it doesn't need to happen.
I'm saying today it doesn't need to happen.
So here,
we got to see what we got.
It doesn't require you to be Albert Einstein here, right? We are short here, right? So let me start mining, right? Yeah. Because it's going to take some time to land somebody. You're not going to walk in and call them up tomorrow and you're like, I'll be there on Thursday. That's not going to happen.
Well, but to your point,
T.O. would.
To Tyvus's point, Emmanuel Sanders is a pro's pro.
That's what I'm saying.
He don't need weeks and weeks to get ready. But you want to be in touch with him and say, hey, we want to bring you in, you know.
And if that's the case, I've been in the league, so I know For me personally, it takes my body 1 week to get into game shape.
Yeah.
1 week of practice is all I need.
Yeah.
So if I come in the week before we start the season, I will be good for the game.
So you 1 week at how old?
Yeah, that's
Oh, my
No,
Lord.
seriously.
These guys 33, 35.
Listen, we got
Hey,
Football's
said
only 20 games.
you got to get some 454 flex on to get
You
yourself
got to get the tiger ball, rub down.
Honestly, let me ask you this question. This is like a serious question in the schematics. When you're a receiver, how much does the receiver's knowledge of routes, the route tree, how much does that help in scheme to scheme? So say, for instance, you play in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
If you play in Seattle, you play receiver with Seattle, could you go to San Francisco and say, okay, well, this is kind of like this a little bit? Or is there some time period that you got to get ramped up to learn the playbook?
Well, that's the thing. So the quarterback have ways of telling you what you got. So basically, if a free agent signing happened in a week and they was to throw him in the game.
Okay.
So say Josh Gordon came and he's never been in Kevin Stefanski. They said, you know what, we need you for this game.
Yeah.
But what would happen is, one, the quarterback would tell you in the huddle or at the line there, signal something to you so you'll know what the route is. Or they'll pair you up with the receiver that's next to you, and you just be like, what I got.
Yeah.
And he'll tell you. Or you can go to the side. You always on our sideline. Anytime we have receiver, just line up on our side, and the coach is right there. This is what you got.
I didn't know that.
That's like being traded in the middle of the season in basketball. You get there and they put you in the game. You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, where I'm supposed to be? What I'm supposed to do?
Yeah.
That's in season.
That's in season.
As opposed to if they signed somebody like in the middle of preseason.
Oh, no, he can learn. He got
still
time.
be all right.
Yeah.
But by the way, one side note before we move on here. One of you guys mentioned Chad Johnson. I just had to unfollow him on Twitter. You guys follow Chad Johnson on Twitter?
I don't know if I do or not.
He tweets too much.
It's mutual fault. We follow each other.
Yeah, I had to unfollow him.
Why?
I love him, but he tweets too much. I don't like people that tweet too much.
Ain't that what Twitter's for?
How much is too much for you? Like
He's tweeting like he's like retweeting and liking like every tweet that he gets. It's too much. It was clogging up my timeline.
Wow.
I had to unfollow him.
That's what Twitter's for.
And I love, he was one of my favorite players when he played.
This cat bully.
He actually was that was
ruthless.
actually my role model when I was a kid. I wanted to be like Chad.
He was sweet.
Did you?
I did. I was a wide receiver as a kid. And
Plus, he talked a lot of trash.
Like I did all the antics like Chad and everything.
Did you
He's
do the
kinda
trash
like the same
talking that he
people.
did?
Yeah.
Calling out. Remember he had the list of the D-backs that he was
I
going
used to-
against?
Yeah.
The most fascinating thing about Chad Johnson is
Yeah.
the fact that he eats McDonald's 4 times a day.
That's insane.
And don't look.
that's crazy.
He ain't gained a pound.
And tried to be, and then he almost fought Brandon Marshall.
No,
over that.
but it was a good point. He was saying that Brandon Marshall was saying, I eat healthy.
Yeah.
And he was saying, but you get hurt. I eat McDonald's and I don't miss any games.
And he
So
said,
it's like, all
McDonald's
right, that makes
is
sense.
not gonna help me catch the football.
No.
It's not gonna make me drop it or catch it.
I eat one chicken McNugget, I gained 5 pounds. He doesn't gain anyway. All right, speaking of defensive backs, John Johnson had some interesting comments day 2 of Browns camp, guys. Obviously, it's a big season for him. He was really good with the Rams. He was disappointing last year in his first year at the Browns. There's a lot of talent in that Browns safety room.
Yes.
And they should play well. John Johnson, this was the comment, the vibe is way better this year. Lots of guys back. It's fun. We're enjoying it, and we can't wait to be out on the field. Some people might take. You know me. I love shots at Baker.
You went straight at Baker.
But I actually don't think that's a shot at Baker.
No.
You do?
Yeah.
I think that's more about the defense. Because remember, last year there were a lot of new faces on defense, including him. This year, everybody's back. They know each other better. You're not buying that?
Boys.
All right, you be the one to rip Baker.
In the words of Conceited, slow it down. I just dissed you. Do you need me put it in subtitles or something? You talk about vibes, right? This is the most. Everyone knew this. There's 2 factions. There's people that was in Baker Mayfield's camp. He just so happened to have the people that were mutes, guys that didn't talk. Nick Chubb liked him, the offensive line liked him, cool. But then you have a whole nother faction. And one of the most vocal people in the locker room was John Johnson III.
Yes.
And his, now I wouldn't say disdain, but when Odell Beckham Jr. left, it just was this. Either you on this side of the camp or you on that side of the camp.
Facts.
And when they started seeing Odell Beckham Jr. out, and they say, yo, people showed up at the airport crying, sending letters. I said, y'all crazy. And Baker over here chilling. And then for Myles Garrett, he really signified it. He said, yeah, hey, come on back. You know what I'm saying? He said, hey, come on back and let's go ahead and do this. Now, mind you, this dude got cut in the middle of the year.
He's still a free agent.
And your best player, who is the vocal person, is reaching out to him saying, come on back over here, we can get this done. What do you think that means? The vibe, Baker said he woke up feeling dangerous. He had a lot of feelings. And guess what? He's telling him the vibe was not on and popping.
I gotta get the.
You guys agree?
I gotta get the young fella's take.
Wait a minute.
I gotta get the young fella's take.
G is not 100% wrong at all.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a shot like that. First of all, I did have the pleasure of being with the Texans for a week before I got cut. Week with the Texans.
That count?
So I got to be around Deshaun Watson, and for sure. With him around, the vibe is fun. He's electric. Watching him, all practices up tempo. It's just better when he's there. So I'll give John Johnson that. But as far as the defense goes, it's the same guys back.
Right.
A lot of people don't realize that when he says the vibe, I think he means as a whole team.
Right.
When you're playing in the league and even in college, it's two different wars. The offense is on one field, the defense is on the other field. Y'all barely really see each other. Y'all see each other for like 2 periods, two team comp periods. That's it.
Right.
But outside of that, it's boom, boom. And for him to say that the vibe is better, like that means that they getting along more, they talking, they actually meet. Defense is talking to offense is talking to defense, they hanging out with each other, and it's more of a family thing. And I think that's what they needed, because last year he said that it was at times where it seemed like they didn't even mess with each other. We came in the building, did our thing, but that was it. But it seems like with this, now they're actually becoming a family and hanging out more. So I think that's what he means when he says the vibe is better.
Fred?
So I'm going to come to you as the OG.
Here we go.
The OG here. I listen to the young fella here. He makes a lot of good points here. But I have to come to you like, do you know that you could be on a team and one person could wreck the team?
That's a fact.
One person will wreck the team.
Yeah.
Divided like the Red Sea. Split it, right? Real easy, right? And so I think that when that person is removed from the mix, then what happens is there's a convalescence of everybody else coming together, right? And I think that is what is occurring right now. And that's not saying that in this case, the Baker Mayfield was a bad guy. He's just bad for this crew. That's right. And then now it's like a weight is lifted here, and we feel like we're free. We can have some fun. Now, that don't mean it's going to translate to big wins here, but the atmosphere is better. Sometimes you can get better by removing somebody that don't fit.
And part of this, don't you think, is Deshaun's just a better player than Baker. Forget the personalities, whether you like him or not. When you're on a team, if your quarterback's awesome, aren't you just going to be naturally more excited because you think you have a better chance to win?
Absolutely.
Right? So I think that's just a big part of it. It could be whoever it was. Like, I'm going to be more excited. I'm sure the players like Jacoby Brissett, but if I'm a player on the Browns defense, I'm much more excited seeing Deshaun Watson play than Jacoby Brissett because he's a lot better.
But I say this too. I say sometimes in the atmosphere when it's just fun.
Sure.
I enjoy just coming because it's fun.
I imagine Jacoby Brissett is a funny type guy.
Right.
And I know this because somebody that I trained with, like, worked out with him before, like pre-draft, and they was like, he like one of the goofiest guys ever.
Yeah.
So having that around and just being fun and joking with people, that makes the feeling in the atmosphere better.
Right.
Like, you want to come to practice. It doesn't feel like a job.
But that's any, like, look at us on this show. When we all come in, we're having fun, we're joking around. Off the air, we're even more inappropriate than we are on the air, right? Like, we're saying all kinds of wacky stuff. We all have fun when we come in here, so it doesn't feel like work. Right?
Like 2 hours is gone.
I know. We're just having a good time every day.
And you know what else you can have fun with? When you're winning. See, y'all done been on. See,
sure.
Here's a feeling, and I try to give this to different people when they say, how is it when you talk about winning? When you're a player and you invest that much time of your life and stuff you don't like, I got to lift weights, I got to wake up at 6, I got to run, I got to be accountable. The only thing that makes any of that worth it is winning. We love each other, but that feeling you get when you win and you sitting in the locker room dirt tired, but you won though. You making all them deposits in the bank, all them deposits. You putting all that money in every single week. But it's worth it when you go out and you got that down payment for that house.
Fact.
You give them that cash, you just be, I ain't even worried about it. And y'all been on teams where y'all done been on teams that were so good, that had the synergy so well, that you thought you was going to win every game. You could have lost yesterday, but you say, we going to win tomorrow.
For sure.
That's the most intoxicating feeling in the world to know you're on a team and they can't mess with you.
Well, you need that because at times when seasons get tough, you band together when it gets thick. When you're on a bad team, it splinters so quick that I've been on some great teams, and I've been on a couple bad teams, and the bad teams. Hell, I don't even remember who was on the damn team.
You done excommunicate him out of your mind.
I got to go to an old media guy to see. Oh, he was
Who the hell was the point guard here?
He was there. He was there too. Yeah, like when you go to Ohio State, and the great thing is, what the Browns is trying to do, is the Browns is trying to build sustainability. They're trying to build something big, and you know when you playing for Ohio State, you just y'all like there ain't really nobody that's gonna beat us.
No. This is guaranteed a dub.
Yeah, this is a dub today. Like
the only way we gonna lose is if we don't play to our abilities. If that's the only way. But we're gonna win every Saturday for sure.
Guys, one other quote I wanted to show you from John Johnson. He talked about the safeties, and Tyvus is our safety / defensive back expert.
Yes.
I think we can do pretty much anything. Our safeties don't really get mixed in that top tier. So I think it's an opportunity for us to know each other, feed off each other, and be the best trio in the league. You look at the Browns depth chart, obviously with John Johnson and Roddy Harrison. So I couldn't think of it. Grant Delpit, of course.
Yep, that's the three.
Now, all three guys are really talented.
Yes, they are.
John Johnson, again, I thought he was kind of average last year after he'd been really good with the Rams. Mm-hmm. And Grant Delpit has all kinds of talent, but he's been hurt.
Yeah.
Do you think this trio can be one of the best in the league?
I personally love the trio that they have there. Ronnie Harrison is a guy who can come in and check tight ends, kind of the aggressor out of the three. Got that attitude, got that dog mentality. You need a guy like that. So he's one that I really like. Delpit was just young last year. Everybody, this would be his third year,
right?
But last year was really his first year on the field because he got hurt. So therefore, he made a couple of MAs, missed assignments, and they showed in some of those games. I think now that he understands the system and at this year too, he'll be better and not making those mistakes. And I think he's like a better in the box. I think he's a box safety. He's one of those ones that come up aggressively. They need to send him on the blitzes, let him come field the run. Now, John Johnson, I really liked his game with the Rams a lot. He was so under the radar, but he was so smart and understood things that safety shouldn't even know. Like the way he positioned himself to make plays is what made him really good. And I think the Browns kind of put a cap on him because they try to put him at the post safety. And playing in that system, that post safety, it gets boring. I'm not gonna lie. Being back there 15 yards
You losing
deep,
focus?
You don't lose focus, but you get antsy. It's like I want to get some action.
Right.
So now you catch yourself trying to get especially him being close to the ball with the Rams. They kind of put him in the box a lot or around the slot.
Well, they need to do that this year because he's special in the Rams.
But see, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Who's going to play the post safety? You going to put Delpit at the free? No, because he's better in the run. But John Johnson is good in the run too. So it's like they got to find a way to get him to utilize him correctly because most of the time when he's productive is when he's around the box. And I don't know what position, nickel, I don't know what position they could put him at because Delpit, I don't really think Delpit's really good in the post.
That's Joe Woods. Come on. Listen,
he's got to do it better.
Joe, I'm going to tell you something right quick. Let me holler at you, Joe. Now listen. look.
John Johnson is with my he signed with my agency too, Sports Stars.
Joe, you got you got world-class athletes over there. You got the makings of a top 3 defense. You got 2 dynamic edge rushers. You got the most dynamic linebacker in JOK. You also got 3 safeties that's interchangeable. Yep. Denzel Ward, Newsome can play inside and outside. A.J. Green, you got length at corner. They got 6'3" corners. Now listen, if you come out here, I know something. If you come out here against the Carolina Panthers and rush 4 and play vanilla zone behind it, I know something. You will not get a pass.
Wait a minute.
We need aggressive. They need to be very aggressive. I agree, man.
What do you know?
I know I know what Baker Mayfield does and does not do well. We've all seen it. He does not diagnose blitzes well. He does not operate well out of the shotgun. And if you show him a pre-snap look and then give him a post-snap look, he out here patting the ball, throwing the ball, doing spin moves, throwing it behind his back. You better not have Clowney and Myles Garrett out here playing for and zone and talk about we gonna get better next week.
And they should be safety blitzing. They should be doing everything. Throw the kitchen sink.
No,
you don't like that?
I got a question. I'm just
Go ahead.
I got a question.
Because I got a question too.
Because here's the question, right? Do they know what to do with talent? Because sometimes you can have too much talent and know what to do.
Never.
And
I don't think you can have too much talent.
Okay, I've been on here.
I agree.
Love my college coach to death, right? Yeah. Love my college coach to death. Did not know what to do with too much talent. It was too much.
But that's on the coach. It's not too much.
No, but I'm saying here, when you tell me John Johnson looks like in L.A., he's playing better like this. I'm listening to you.
I'm telling you.
He plays better like this.
Yeah.
And you say, well, no, we put you over here because this is how I wanted to work. But you now are negating his skill set, right?
Yeah.
That means you're not doing what's necessary. You're not reading the chessboard right.
Right.
Like, so does that now translate to why Chubb is in the backfield and Hunt is on the sideline? I'm like, you got to know what to do here.
Guys, they got this year to figure it out, all right?
Yeah.
That's like, if you're putting John Johnson out of position, that's like taking Myles Garrett and say, oh, go take care of this running back in the passing game. I mean, that's not what he's there for.
I think the good thing about them is that they're interchangeable. And to a quarterback, okay, so every quarterback's going to come to the line, say that the Browns' base defense is cover 3. So they're going to be taught to identify which one of these safeties is the box safety. Because that one of these safeties is going to tell me what coverage they in. Because they're going to probably show a too-high shell. But I know Delpit is the strong safety. So if Delpit comes down in the box, boom, it's cover 3. So my pre-snap read is him. Set, go. I'm looking at him. If he comes down, oh, it's cover 3. Boom.
Right.
But if they switch it, like, okay, now I'm looking like, okay, if he just hold it for a minute, and then I'm like, wait a minute, what is he doing? I can't figure out if they in cover 3, and then John Johnson is the guy that's coming down. All right, now I'm looking at the wrong guy. That's buying Myles Garrett an extra second to get there. So they need, with them being talented enough, with both being able to play in the box, they need to have a way to switch both of them down.
Yeah. The secondary as a whole, and you mentioned the names at corner, like they have to be as loaded with talent as any team in the entire NFL in the secondary. The question is, will they use them correctly, and will they stay healthy? We know Denzel Ward's banged up again. He's missed games every year. Delpit's been injured a lot. Greedy's been injured a lot. Outside of Johnson, I mean, all these guys. Greg Newsom's been injured a lot in college.
He's been injured a lot.
Johnson's the only one of their top 6 DBs that hasn't been missed a lot of time. But the amount of talent they have in that secondary may be unrivaled in the entire league. I mean, that's how good they are.
I tell you what, for Baker Mayfield, personally, I would run 2-man a lot that game because Baker Mayfield, to me, he got to show me that his arm is back. If we seen the clip, did y'all see the clip of him throwing the throwing the receiver? He got to show it to me that we can get beat. If you running 2-man, you got your corners and all your men playing underneath routes, and you got your 2 safeties over the top, forcing him to throw it over the top.
Yeah,
your corner should eat it up all day because he's gonna underthrow it. So that should be.
Now Carolina does. We're talking specifically about this one game. Carolina has a pretty good receiving core.
They do.
They got good offense.
They got a lot of talent. I don't know about how good their offensive line is.
No, I don't. Yeah, that's a question.
At the skill position, at least week 1, you assume McCaffrey's going to be healthy week 1. He's as good as any back in the league. Mm-hmm. They got DJ Moore. They got the other who's
Robbie,
the
other kid?
I know Robbie Anderson, but they got some other kid they just drafted. Terrence Marshall, who's talented. We don't know how good he is at this point, but there's talent.
So let me ask you, what better way than telling your corners, y'all got every underneath route. Don't even worry about nothing deep. Anything that they run short, undercut it and try to make a play on the ball. I'm Denzel Ward. I'm like, bet.
Yeah, right.
Bet. I ain't worried about nothing because if they go deep, the safety's got it. And he ain't going to throw it deep anyways because his arm might not be 100%.
But I mean, they want to send a message in that game.
Oh, they going to blitz. Their offensive line's terrible. They going to blitz.
If they dislike him as much as we think the defense does, they're going to want to kick his ass.
I think Myles Garrett has set the tone. And by the way, he did a better job. I talked to him. You don't just generate pressure by blitzing. you can do stunts up front.
Yeah, sure.
You can move Myles Garrett around, put Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney on the same side. You could kick Myles Garrett down to a 3 technique. You could bring JOK off the edge, right? There's all kind of things that you can do with 4. Just don't make them say every single play, I have to diagnose what they're doing.
I think Joe Woods fell into the fact that we got Jadeveon Clowney and Myles Garrett. I shouldn't have to send 5 or 6 every play because they should be able to get them. Can't nobody block them one-on-one. So I think that's what he fell in love with. It's like, what better way? Why would I send somebody and put a hole in the zone and the quarterback might just so happen to pick up the blitz and hit the wide open spot in the zone? When I was in Seattle, Sherm hated fire zones. They hated it. They was like, stop calling them fire zones because 1, people wasn't getting home, and 2, it leaves a hole in the defense.
Guys, let's bring in our guest. He joins us every Friday here on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. DeQuell Jackson coming on with us. Anthony, what do we got?
Hi, guys. So before we bring in everybody on the Gridiron Guys hotline, I have a little ad read I have to do. So, looking for a local roofer you can trust? Family owned since 2003, the Gridiron Guys have grown to become Northeast Ohio's top-rated roofer. We exemplify quality work practices, are a valued resource for homeowners, and offer 10-year workmanship warranty. Call 330-573-7967 today for a free estimate or roof inspection.
Gridiron Guys.
It never gives
DeQuell is with us now. DeQuell.
What's up, fellas?
In the car.
I'm in the car.
Well, you're on daddy duty right now, huh?
Yeah. I took my little one to go work out, and we ran into a bunch of traffic. I thought I could get back in time, but I had to pull over, and he's back there picking his nose as usual. So we got a special guest.
DeQuell, you're not.
Oh man,
DeQuell, you're not working him out, are you?
Yeah, I was working him out. He just ran around the track all day.
Not no sled pools.
He would at least be asleep, but he's not going to sleep anytime soon. So
he's fascinated right now by what's going on.
Oh, he really is. I told him he's going to be on national television. So he's got to be good.
DeQuell,
he wants ice cream.
I thought you was getting them doing the sled pulls and sled pushes already.
So my trainer had him with small kettlebells walking around this big track. I'm like, that's too much. I was like, we don't want to stunt his growth too early. Let's let him have fun. Be with daddy.
You know, DeQuell, you live in a nice neighborhood. Don't have protective services out there. Oh my gosh, this guy had his little baby out there. His baby had kettlebells. Right. He almost died. He almost passed out.
We made sure he was full of fluid, so he
was hydrated.
Hey, DeQuell, I know. Listen, you see what I got on for you, baby?
What's that?
Maryland.
I can't see it. Maryland.
Okay.
Yeah. I appreciate you showing the love.
Show you a little love, baby. Right. Show you a little love.
I see it. Now, respect,
exactly.
my friend.
There it is.
Now, DeQuell, we were sitting here. We was talking your cup of tea. We talking about the defense, and we was talking about the idea of John Johnson saying that, hey, all the guys is back, all the guys is moving around. We feel a better vibe. When you playing on the defensive side of the ball, what do you think he means when he says it's a better vibe? You know what I'm saying? Is he talking about the continuity? Is he talking about just knowing where you need to be on the field? Or he just talking about the overall feeling of the talent on the field?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of all of it. And I think, obviously, the Deshaun Watson has a little flavor to add to that as well. But listen, a lot of starters are coming back. A lot of continuity. It's funny, I was on the phone with a bunch of guys from Cleveland that played former players from Cleveland last night, and we hadn't been on the phone forever. And the one thing we talked about was, even though we didn't win games, the camaraderie was there. And we talked about a team up the road in Pittsburgh because they always had the same coordinators, the same guys, and that was due to their success on the field. So I think it's a combination of that. I think the guys is one more year under his belt, one more training camp under his belt with the same guys. You don't have to look down the locker room and see different faces all the time. And that means something. A lot of front office people don't value that. And it has a lot of value to bring in, to keep the same guys, same coordinator, so you're hearing the same message. And you get more out of it in the end. And also, you want to add the fact that you look down the locker room and you see a guy, which we don't know when he's going to be able to play, in Deshaun Watson. you already feel like you're a championship caliber, Super Bowl caliber team, and you're just saying all the right things because guys feel it in the building.
DeQuell, we were talking, Anthony Schwartz, I don't know if you saw this news. He got hurt in practice yesterday. Tell him.
Okay, you want a phone call next? Okay, we'll make a phone call after.
So Schwartz goes down, non-contact knee injury. We don't know how serious it is, but obviously when you hear non-contact in knee, you always assume that it's not very good. You know, David Bell, their rookie wide receiver, has what does he have? A stress fracture in his foot.
Yes, stress.
So we don't know when he's going to be back. They were already thin at wide receiver to begin with. You got some interesting veterans like Will Fuller, Emmanuel Sanders, Cole Whackjob Beasley,
Right job.
and T.Y. Hilton. Do you think the Browns need to be aggressive and go after a wide receiver right now, or should they not panic because it's early camp?
Yeah, I think once they, this may sound weird that I say this, but it's actually better it happens earlier than later.
Yeah.
Because some of these guys, you don't know what's the long-term effects of all of this. Obviously, you have to expect guys to get banged up early on, and you can't hit the panic button right away. But right now with Schwartz and David Bell, that is a huge blow. You don't expect that, but I think probably right now it isn't the move to go looking for guys. But probably the next few weeks or so, when you start playing preseason games, a lot of guys are going to start to go down. A lot of soft tissue injuries are going to happen, and a lot of unexpected cuts. So I think when that time comes, then I think you have to kick the tires on. Okay, let's look at where these guys are from an from a health standpoint, and see whether or not we need to, push forward and go out and get a veteran. But I'm sure it's in the back of their minds because they do have a young core of guys and, unproven guys, if you will, at the receiving core. But I'm sure this has been on the priority list in terms of keeping an eye on this position group, how well they play. Do we need to make a move earlier rather than later?
DeQuell, you have just become the starting middle Mike linebacker for the Cleveland Browns, okay? Joe Wood say, we playing Carolina the first game, Baker Mayfield's the quarterback. Joe Wood say, DeQuell, whatever you call, we running it all game. What's your game plan for Carolina? What you doing?
Oh, I'm playing attack style defense. I mean, I'm gonna feed into the guys who they know this guy that was in that locker room. They know his strengths. They know his weaknesses. And if I'm a coordinator, I'm playing to these guys' strength. Listen, you want to make it known that he was not the guy for the job. And on defense, whether the game is close, whether the game is a blowout, whatever the case may be, whether you win or lose, the defense is going to take the credit or take the blame if they don't play well. So I'm calling fire zones. I'm calling zone blitz. I'm doing everything. I'm sitting on all the routes and forcing him to throw the ball down the field, which, in my opinion, I don't think that's the strong suit. So you got to play to those guys. Those guys are going to be to play.
We talk about it.
You got to feed into it.
You coming like some crazy dogs. That's it.
Yeah, man. Those are the games. Those are the games you look forward to. Especially when you know the guy throwing the football, all the DBs, all the safeties, they're going to probably have extra meetings about, hey, listen, this is what Baker did well. This is what he didn't do. They're going to talk about tips, reads, all the tales that clue them in on how to jump routes. And they're going to be so aggressive, especially from the defensive back standpoint, because they know what he can do and they know what he can't do. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I really am. It's going to be a hell of a ball game from the back.
I'm glad that you second what I said. I appreciate that.
Oh, you did?
Yes. I think this is going to be – see, this is going to tell DeQuell exactly who the Cleveland Browns coaching staff is, right? We done talked about a lot about Deshaun Watson, and I want to make it clear, right? Coaching counts. Like, your game plan counts. How many times have you been on a team where you've gone into a game and you just knew by what the plan was that week? Install come around, you're looking at film on Tuesday, Wednesday, and you're looking at the film and you say, well, my goodness, well, why would we be running this? I don't. we ain't got a shot, and you know what, to get where we need to go with this. Where do you think? Explain to the people how much a coaching game plan counts on Sundays.
Yeah, I mean, the players look for. Here's the dichotomy of all of it. That's right. The players play, the coaches coach, and you expect your players to go out and play well, be healthy, understand what the opposing team is doing, understand tendencies, and we put the same amount of pressure on the coaches to come up with a great game plan, to watch 3 or 4 films, come up with a plan to convince me that, you know what, if I listen to you, if I watch how Baker Mayfield's shoulder comes up, he's throwing the ball deep. If I trust your tendencies, you're going to get more out of it. You're going to be able to reach the player's potential. And I think in my 11 years playing, there was probably a handful of guys that I knew when whatever they told me, I was going to do it. And a lot of it was I was questioning a lot of some coaches I've had, but the guys that know what the heck they're talking about, you knew those guys were going to go on to be head coaches. They spoke the same language as players, and it means a ton because if you don't grab the attention of players early on, and if you better hope and pray that you have a winning record towards the middle to the end of the season because you'll start to lose the interest of players and players will start to tune you out. So if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know what you're talking about, you can't convince me that if I listen to your game plan and you come with a game plan and we win and we execute and we're winning games and we get results, then you got my undivided attention. But if not, then it's just water under the bridge for us, man. It just goes in one ear, not the other. So it's very important that coaches understand how to communicate with their players and how to come up with great game plans.
Hey, DeQuil, I have a question because I made a statement earlier in the show before you got on. Sometimes it concerns me when you have a lot of talent on the team because a lot of coaches can't handle a lot of talent, right? And it becomes a problem because, they're systematic and robotic, right? And now when you got a super amount of talent, guys, because of their talent, can make additional plays. Sometimes you got to be able to bend and mold yourself to your talent on the team. Do you have any concerns about the Browns coaching staff and the amount of talent we have on this team?
Yeah, I'm gonna step out because the little man is starting to whine. I'm gonna go to his side.
Don't you leave that car, right?
No. I'm gonna go to the other side of the
nice area. Don't do that.
Brad, I heard half of. Can you repeat the second half of your question?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, man.
So my concern here, we understand. Listen, DeQuil, we've all been there, bro. Trust me. Trust me.
Yeah,
I'm still there, bro. They're just older now.
Yeah.
My question to you is, because the Browns have a lot of talent, are you concerned that the coaches?
I think we should let DeQuil go? This kid's crying.
No, I got it.
You sure?
We're good.
All right, go ahead.
So do you think that because the Browns have a lot of talent, that sometimes it can be too much talent for the coaching staff?
Oh yeah. Right. Well, I mean, in this case, most coaches that are head coaches, this is what they want, right? They want to. What was the old term that I forget the Hall of Fame coach? He talked about they want me to, cook the dinner but not buy the groceries.
Right.
This is the ideal situation for a coaching staff, and in my opinion, it shows just how well you can coach because you have all the talent, you have everything you could possibly need, and you got to go out and show that you can also speak the same language and convince these guys and motivate these guys that hey, I'm the man for the job. Because we all know the guys who played, if you have the talent and you can't convince me that I can go from being a great player to an elite player, then you lose interest. So I do think there's a certain level of pressure that comes with any job as a head coach and any assistant coach for that matter. But when you have the talent, that's an ideal situation. In my opinion, that's no excuse. You got to get it done. And if you can't, well, I feel like that's what a lot of people kind of point the finger at Baker because you had all this talent and couldn't get it done. Right. And you had one of the worst QBR ratings in the National Football League last year with all the talent surrounding you. Right. And so, that you got to figure it out. If you don't, then you got to find a guy that can get it done.
And if the coaching staff don't figure it out this year, then they'll find new coaches that can get it done. DeQuil, great to talk to you as always. Good luck. Enjoy.
Hey guys, I apologize.
It's all. There's nothing to apologize.
We all understand.
Brother, everybody understand that. We all been there, bro.
It's all good. We love you. We'll talk to you next week. We'll keep you extra next time.
Keep them kettlebells out of his hand, though.
We'll see you later.
arms is
He's
tired.
in a better mood.
His arms is tired for the kettlebell.
Can't control the kid's mood. You can't control it. Thanks, DeQuell.
All right, guys. Take care. I'll talk to you guys
Have a
next
good
week.
weekend, bro.
DeQuell Jackson. All right, good shout out to his son was
we've been
upset.
there.
And anybody that has a kid has been there.
I got
Two of them.
You will be there eventually, my friend.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that happens. Once the kid gets into crying mode, it's hard to get him out. It's hard to get. Tyvus is going through it right now. Brandon and I have been through it.
I've been through it.
My two daughters got me running around the house grabbing stuff. This what you want?
Yeah.
This gonna make you feel
Can I
good?
do anything to make you stop crying?
Right.
Oh, it's tough.
It's always at the inopportune time.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, right. Guys, I can't remember now if it was last week or I think it was early this week. Mike Sando is a columnist for The Athletic. And he, every year, interviews 50 executives, coaches, NFL guys, and he asks them to rank all the quarterbacks in one of 5 tiers, right?
Okay.
Whatever, how they define each one. I mean, we can define it however we want, but there's 5 tiers of quarterbacks. And then he averages the votes and then ranks them based on that.
Okay.
50 total voters, 6 general managers, 8 head coaches, 12 coordinators, 24 evaluators and executives. Okay, so there you go. So number 1 overall was, I believe it was Aaron Rodgers, not Tom Brady. Brady, Mahomes 3, Josh Allen 4, Justin Herbert. It's funny that the picture of Justin Herbert's not in a uniform. He's 5, Joe Burrow 6. Deshaun Watson, I believe, finished, those are the tier 1 quarterbacks, okay? Tier 2 quarterbacks, Matthew Stafford 7, Russell Wilson 8, Deshaun Watson 9, Lamar 10, Dak Prescott 11, Derek Carr 12, Kyler Murray 13, and Matt Ryan 14. What stands out to you guys? Brad, let's start with you. What, if anything, Baker 19th as a tier 3 quarterback.
Okay.
So Deshaun 9th, Baker 19th. If you read some of the comments as I did, a couple of the evaluators dropped Deshaun Watson because he didn't play and the off-the-field stuff. One guy said he's a tier 1 distraction. I don't believe in any of that. I think that's coded language that I don't really like. But
There's been a lot of coded language. There's been a lot of coded language this week.
There is.
Don't get me going on that. Don't get me going on that.
But I don't think 9 is unreasonable for Watson, considering he hasn't played.
I don't think 9 was unreasonable at all. I thought that for a guy who's been out of the game for a little bit and having been a second tier at number 9, I thought it was a good position. What struck me was they're enamored with Aaron Rodgers. He's the number 1 dude, but he doesn't win nothing. He don't win anything, right? And so
he hasn't in a while. He hasn't
won. But the guy in 2, the number 2, Brady.
Yeah.
Now he be winning.
Now I don't understand how you put Rodgers ahead of Brady.
He's a Michigan guy, but you got to give him credit. He be winning.
He winning. No, for sure. I just think they say Aaron Rodgers is more, what's the word? Talented of a pass thrower. Like Aaron Rodgers throws some dimes for sure.
Aaron Rodgers is a flake. For real.
My only knock on Aaron Rodgers is that when they went against Tampa Bay 2 years ago, and on that 3rd down, and he didn't run for that touchdown or at least get close, he killed himself.
Well, what about last year? They lost to the Niners. That was at their home stadium.
That was because a punt got blocked.
But he didn't do anything in that game. They didn't score at all.
Once a punt get blocked, listen, Urban Meyer taught me that if a punt get blocked in the game, the team that blocks the punt 90% of the time goes on to win that game.
I mean, Urban Meyer was feeling up a college girl at that point.
There goes our chance to get Urban Meyer on the show. All right, there we go. All right, yeah.
So wait.
Hey guys, I'm taking my own plane home. I got college girls to mess with.
So he showed the world that he's not perfect.
Yeah, right. There you go.
That's a good thing because who knew he was?
That's your man.
Thought he was perfect before that.
Hey man, make sure you cover for your mans, bro.
Those who have no sin cast the first.
I got no sin. None in the last 6 weeks.
I will tell you this, man. Aaron Rodgers, I'm with the OG. I'm with OG on that one.
What's happening?
Aaron Rodgers.
He put Rodgers ahead of Brady. That's ridiculous.
I wouldn't put him above Brady.
Aaron Rodgers is very flaky, right?
Flake.
He does some of the most questionable stuff in the world. He faked a retirement 7-8 times.
Brady did too.
No. He was openly being like, yeah, and then he got the bag. It was like, that's what I wanted. Devontae Adams had to roll, right? You see what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Yeah, it's a fact. And on top of that, the whole COVID debacle. Yeah, I'm vaccinated, but not really.
That's not what he said.
He lied about
He
being
never
vaccinated.
said that he was vaccinated.
No, he lied.
It was misleading what he was saying.
That's what he did, bro. Then he had to fall on his sword at the end.
And by the way, back then, let's not act like people wasn't dying back then.
Right.
People was like, for
He was
real.
selfish. He was
Like,
selfish.
And on top of that, you lose at home all the time. Every year the Packers got home field advantage throughout the whole playoffs. You lose to Eli Manning. You lost to Tom Brady. Then you came back and lost to Jimmy Garoppolo with no passing game. They ran the ball. They put receivers in motion and ran the ball. And you got Devontae Adams. You got Aaron Jones. You got Dillon in the backfield. They got multiple weapons. And guess what? You never get it done. You haven't won since 2007?
Yes.
Come on.
Been a while.
And they put him at number one every time.
But let me, a couple other things to me. I don't understand. Again, it's only one spot. I don't know how you put Justin Herbert ahead of Joe Burrow.
I can't go.
They're both They're both probably equal talent-wise, right? I mean, aren't they?
What did we talk? What is the?
Can we get the criteria for Anthony?
Well, to make the rankings?
Yeah, like
so it's based on the average ranking score. So, for example, Aaron Rodgers might have gotten 50 first-place votes, Tier 1 votes, and maybe Tom Brady got 49 Tier 1s and 1 Tier 2 somehow.
Do they have a description of what a Tier 1 quarterback consists of?
No, you take it however you want.
You take it how you want?
Take it however you want.
Because if we talking about as a pass thrower,
yeah.
I can see Aaron Rodgers.
Swing the ball now. There's no
I
question.
can see Justin Herbert in front of Joe Burrow.
Like
I can see
So
that.
here, there's no question that he can sling.
But I need to know what are we talking about?
It's everything.
It's the other
Everything.
thing.
Oh, if it's everything, then Tom Brady's number one, and this list is flawed.
And Herbert, now to Herbert's description, the problem with Herbert is he'll win. He teases you.
He hasn't been to the playoffs. Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl.
He teases you.
So,
right? So you got
It's only a year. He only been in the
But he
league for
still
2
teases
years.
tease you.
But why is he ahead of Joe Burrow? But anyway,
I don't know why he's ahead of Joe.
Yeah, but here's with Watson. Here's my only beef with, and again, I think it's fine that he's 9 because he didn't play. But the weird thing is, he ended up as a Tier 2 quarterback. Last year, he was a Tier 1 quarterback. So there were guys who voted on this who only dropped him from Tier 1 to Tier 2 because he didn't play a year, which ultimately doesn't make a ton of sense to me, because if you thought he was a Tier 1 quarterback last year and he hasn't played any since then,
you got to show it.
Why? You have to show it every
It
year.
ain't about
I mean,
what you've done.
Let's talk about the code. Let's talk about the coded language.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Let's do it.
I'll give you the exact quote. Go ahead.
Let's go. Come on.
Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady sat out a year.
Oh, they still be number one.
Thank you.
They still be 1 and 2.
You're still Tier 1. They're still and they're older, and they are elevated.
Wait a minute.
Now,
Hold
wait a
on.
second.
Wait.
Go ahead.
But they have legend resumes.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
better
Super Bowls, MVPs, 7 rings.
Let me ask you. Patrick Mahomes sit out a year, Tier 1.
He got a ring.
Josh Allen sit out 1 year.
Nope.
I guarantee he's still Tier 1. He's still Tier 1.
I agree with you on that one.
He's still Tier 1.
Joe Burrow, he came off an ACL.
He's still Tier 1.
And he's still Tier 1.
Well,
He just came off
he
the
wasn't,
Super Bowl.
He wasn't Tier 1 last year.
But before you go further, I got to ask Bull a question.
Yeah.
Are you going to screenshot the 9th ranking and the 19th ranking or whatever Baker was and send it to Baker?
Yeah. Right. Well, we should do that because think about that. Like Deshaun Watson dropped because he didn't play, and he's still 10 spots ahead of Baker Mayfield. And I'm surprised that Baker's even 19.
I'm a little confused about that 19 too. I'm a little confused about that.
Wait a minute. Can I see that Tier 3? Who?
Yeah, bring in
I didn't
Tier
see
3.
that.
Bring in
the
Tier
one with
3.
Baker on it. Who behind him is the question.
All right, who's he? All right, 20 is Jalen Hurts. Now, if I'm playing fantasy football, I definitely want Jalen instead of Baker.
Look, he down there with Jalen.
I would take Jameis Winston over Baker.
I would
to be
take.
honest with you.
By the way,
we're talking fantasy.
Not only Jameis, but if I'm starting a team right now, I know he didn't play well last year.
Golf?
You want Trevor Lawrence or you want Baker? I'm taking Trevor Lawrence any day of the week.
You said starting the team.
I'm starting a team today.
Probably Trevor Lawrence.
Right? Wouldn't you? I know he sucked last year. I get it.
That was a bad team, though.
But he was saddled with Urban Meyer.
Wow. Listen, we gonna keep doing this.
We're gonna hold you
But-
up on
but-
that. They killed us.
He had no talent around him in Jacksonville.
No,
He had nothing around
He had
him.
Marvin Jones Jr. and that was it.
Where's my man Justin Fields at?
All right, let's see Tier 4. Let's see Tier 4 here.
Yeah, I take
Justin
him
Fields
over.
didn't do anything.
He ain't got out there.
Justin Fields was
Okay,
listen. He was working magic with what he had down there.
There he is, 25. Tua, 26. 27. Who's 27?
Man,
Who is that?
Who was that?
I don't even know who that is. The first guy I didn't recognize by face.
Is that Davis Mills?
Oh, Davis Mills.
it
Good
is
job
who
out of
that
you.
is. I know.
28 is Zach. I hook up with older women, Wilson. 29 is
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance. I'm not sold on him. Daniel Jones sucks. He's 30.
Marcus Mariota.
31. I mean,
Sam
Mariota.
Darnold.
Sammy Darnold, 32.
Sammy D.
Trubisky and Drew Lock.
Trubisky, Drew Lock. And then do we have tier 5? There's one guy on tier 5. Gino. Poor Gino.
That's messed up.
Poor Gino. You know, I've been making fun of the Steelers. That is messed up that there's one guy. I've been making fun of the Steelers quarterback situation with Trubisky and those guys.
To the group.
The Seahawks have Gino and Drew Lock. That's the worst. So the Seahawks have the worst quarterback situation
Why
ever.
that picture, though, is what I want to know.
That's so sad.
See it again.
Poor Gino.
Cody
Let me see it
language.
again.
Show us Gino again.
Let me see it again.
Gino.
Look at the
Where's
Cody
Gino?
language.
Look at Gino.
I'm saying,
Y'all-
why you gotta have a hat on?
You couldn't-
You got a regular shot.
You
Just a regular shot.
You couldn't get him dropped back.
My
I
God.
understand all the pictures he's taking. That's
He looks like the
one
guy I
we
saw
need.
hanging outside of CVS yesterday.
So
I mean,
tier
that's-
Boy, got a
5
beanie
was
on.
designated for quarterbacks best suited just as a backup.
Oh, so that was tier 5. So
five.
do they have a tier 4 description?
Oh, yeah, I didn't see these descriptions.
Oh, so it is a
So tier 4
Yeah.
is unproven or veterans who ideally wouldn't start all 17 games.
Okay.
Let me see that again. Let me see 4. Hold on,
So
let me-
tier 3. So tier 3.
Tier 3, 1 second.
We need the.
Okay, they're legitimate starters, but they have a lower volume, drop back passing offense, suits the quarterbacks best.
Well, in that case, I would agree with that for Baker, tier 3.
By the way, I'll give you.
What's it
You
say for
mentioned
the
Jameis
twos?
before. I think if he stays healthy, he's gonna have a big year this year.
I do
That's
too.
why I said I
He
would
can
take
sling-
him
he can
over.
sling that
I
ball.
like their wide receiving core.
Oh, me too. Go Bucks.
And Alvin Kamara is also really good.
They
pass
saying that he
catcher.
might not even get suspended for
Yeah.
like the first 6 games.
By the way, let me read you some of the quotes on Deshaun Watson from some of the executives who talked about him. Here we go. A quote from an NFL evaluator. He says, quote, he's a tier 1 distraction is what Watson is. It blows me away paying the all-time NFL contract for a tier 2 player.
Oh, he mad about that.
Hater.
He's just mad that he got to pay his quarterback.
Yeah.
One GM said, I can't believe that the Browns did what they did. There's just too many unknowns. I know Andrew, and I just can't picture him doing that. Take the contract out of there. Just making this guy the face of your franchise and really not knowing, do we have him this year? Do we have him? Do we not have him this year? While other stuff will come up. I just can't imagine doing that.
He'll be fired next year.
Probably.
The guy who tell him, I can't believe you did that.
Here's the thing, okay? Some of it is coded language that we talked about.
yeah.
And some of it is that a lot of coaches and executives in the NFL are gutless. They're scared, right? Because you lose your job quickly. And so guys don't want to take a chance. Watson is risky because especially a few months ago, you didn't know how much time he was going to lose. And if he misses the whole season, maybe you lose your job as a GM. I get it. I get that. But these guys are scared. That's why so many of these guys are so conservative when they coach. They don't take chances enough of these guys on 4th down. They settle for field goals all the time, in my opinion. They're scared.
It's a time right now for quarterbacks in the NFL, for franchises. If your quarterback ain't getting it done, whether they even take you to the Super Bowl, if they don't win it, and there's somebody better, you go for it. You've seen it with the Rams, you've seen it with San Fran, you see it with us. If you got a chance to upgrade, you 100% do it.
I think you got something profound.
Let me say this, right? Because you got a couple things here. So them being on, Watson got his own issues. There's no question about he has his own issues. But he's not the first dog in this race here. I mean, many teams have banked on a person that had some questionable parts about him when they were trying to put a team together. So stop with that. Second thing is this, and the other side of it is it's the money side, right? And it's not just the money. They have a propensity to rail against folks that they don't think should get the money, right? So
that's true.
I will say this the contract, that's the going rate out here. What he got. It's the going rate. And I'm surprised, as one of the players that belongs to probably one of the strongest professional athletic unions out here, that the Football Association, Players Association, had never put the guaranteed money on the table. When I look at the guys, I ran a Tony Dorsett 2 years ago at the University of Pittsburgh at a football game to recruit my daughter, right? And so Tony Dorsett he has a person that took a lot of blows in this league, right? And you can start to see the effects of these blows here. The guaranteed money is the insurance marker down the line, right? And so the guaranteed money that Watson got is what should have been coming a long time ago. And to hear people rail against the money, let me tell you, we just bring you to the to the current century that we're in.
And the next quarterback gets paid. And by the way, in my opinion, he's a lot better than Kyler Murray, and Kyler Murray just got the same money.
Let's be clear. Go ahead and wrap this up. They got a problem. Everybody is a capitalist and free market guy until it comes to black players. Let's just be real with it, right? Let's go ahead and just say that. Because if you're talking about video game players, if you're talking about golfers at the LIV tournament, if you're talking about all these people making all this money, it ain't never no problem until $230 million. Aaron Rodgers got the market go up. What is the guy for the Eagles?
Carson Wentz.
For Oklahoma, he's the last big dude with the contract.
Oh, Sam Bradford.
Sam Bradford.
Yeah.
Oh, that's still.
They was giving guys. Now think about this. They was giving guys like that coming out of college big time money and ain't proved nothing.
Yeah.
So the thought process that everybody loves. Everybody don't want taxes. Corporations don't want taxes. I want the least amount of regulation. But when we come to a sport, it's we got to have guardrails. Let's get guardrails on the NIL. We don't want to, no one wants to get too rich. Come bring me my cut first.
Get your bag.
Give me my money, and then we might let you get some of the table scraps. 260, you keep saying the 230, and you know why it is? Because guess what? Every time they say it, they throw the 230 at the end.
I know, right?
I can't believe they gave a guy.
Yeah, it kills me. Gee, well, go to this. This is a killer to me. I'm ready to talk about the code of language. I don't always travel down that roadway, but I will tell you this. They made Kyler Murray put in the contract.
They took it out now.
I saw that last night.
Yeah.
You're going to study?
Well,
you think that's bad? They making Zion Williamson, he got to be a certain weight.
Hold on.
Body fat.
So let me say this.
Yeah.
So that implies that every person that's played quarterback in the National Football League is a student of the game.
Yeah.
Stop playing with me.
Well,
right? Stop playing with me.
That makes the Cardinals look bad and Kyler Murray.
That's why they
bad.
took it out.
It was stupid.
His agent was dumb for even letting it go in there.
That would have been a non-starter.
Stop talking to me.
And let's not act like every single time we come to the combine, every time a quarterback comes in, you got these coded. Well, we don't know if he's going to be the first one in, last one out.
Let's talk about who they're complaining about. So it was Dak Prescott. He was getting complained about their money in Dallas, right?
Yep.
He was looking for money. Then it's Kyler Murray, right?
Lamar Jackson. I'm like, man, this is a mess. This is let me just get this correct.
Yeah.
4 of them. But if you say Josh Allen, pay him immediately. Justin Herbert, he's the next one up, $60 million. Joe Burrow's going to break the bank.
Joe Burrow, they got
fair,
it. They saved
I do think the majority of people cover the sport think Lamar should get paid. And people were critical of the Kirk Cousins contract, which was
Kirk Cousins. Come on, we talking about Kirk
Cousins.
But
here's the interesting thing.
Kirk Cousins from Michigan State. That's what we talking about.
Kirk Cousins he's decent. He's all right. He's a tier 3 quarterback. By the way, I would bet you guys that the coaches that voted on this all picked Deshaun Watson tier 1. The coaches, I bet, and for example, I read you the negative comments. Those are both from executives. Here's what 2 coaches said about Deshaun Watson. One defensive coordinator said, he's a 1. I mean, I'm just rating him as a football player. He's a 1. He's legit. You could put the game on him. They were bad and losing in Houston, but it wasn't because of him. And then another offensive coordinator said, it will not be hard to put Watson back into tier 1 if he does what the Dolphins and Cleveland and a half a dozen other teams thought he would do if they signed him. So I bet the coaches, they know he's a 1. There's no doubt about it. It's fine. And listen, he'll get to prove himself this year. He's got to shut him up. He's got, and that's what he'll do. Eventually, he'll get the chance. All right, let's move on to the top 5. We're going to rip Anthony for his top 5 today. Anthony, by the way,
we're going to be continuing the theme of scuffed list here,
yes.
Tyvis.
Anthony, by the way,
I'm
is
just saying.
filling in for Mikey McNuggets today. And I guess, is our executive producer, Steve Becker, technically filling in for you?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's how it works. He's sitting in my normal seat today, and I know he's looking at YouTube chat and doing other things. So
Yeah. Okay. So what's our top 5 list today? And, of course, brought to you by Roundstone.
Yeah,
Roundstone.
so before we get into it-
Everybody loves Roundstone.
Oh, we did before the
I
ad
did
reads.
before
All
this time. Yeah.
The Ultimate Top 5 is sponsored by Roundstone Insurance. Roundstone offers a better alternative for affordable and quality health care. For more than a decade, Roundstone Insurance has been saving small and mid-sized businesses money on average of 20%. 20%. Contact us today to learn how you can get great health care benefits that your employees will love and save money too. Oh, that's right.
All right, there you go. I already did the song, so we're moving along. All right, what is this? Your top 5 favorite Browns of your lifetime?
Yes, so all 5 of these are players that I have watched and enjoyed watching that have played for the Browns.
And by the way, you're from here.
Yes,
Nuggets
that was
is not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got
I will
this.
say, though, G, this is a caveat. I'm from here, born and raised in Cleveland. I am a Denver Broncos fan at heart.
Ooh. Oh,
So this is a little bit
hold on. Wait, hold on. Stop.
Broncos.
Let us stop. We have a problem, Houston. Houston, we have a problem.
out of pocket, ain't he?
I like the
Out of
honesty.
pocket. You cannot be for Cleveland and be like I'm a Denver. What's their name? The Broncos. The Broncos.
Like the drive didn't happen. Wasn't you alive for that? The drive?
Wow.
When were you
No,
born?
he
I don't
was
think
not.
so, no.
When were you born?
I was
All
born in 1997.
Oh,
I
my
turned
God.
25 in 2
Oh,
weeks.
my God.
Well, to
I
his
was
credit, the
26
Browns
in
weren't here when he was here. When he was born.
YouTube is
He
the
wasn't.
thing.
He was born and we didn't have a team.
I was partying in college in 1997.
All right, let's
By
get
the
into
way,
this, guys.
before you get this, I'll tell a quick story. In 1990, I went back to college in 1996. I was 25 years old when I went, because I dropped out the first time. I was a disaster. I was not ready for college. So I go back to college when I'm 25 years old, 1996. I go back to college, right? And my first year, I decided, all right, I'm 25, but I'm gonna 25. And I'm like, I'm gonna live in the dorms, but I heard there was an adult floor, like for people that were 25 and older. So the first semester, I live on the adult floor, and I'm thinking it's gonna be all people like me that are like 25, 26. But no, it was a bunch of like 30 and 40-year-olds, and I'm like, screw that. I want to be with the 18-year-old girls. I don't want to be with no freaking 40-year-olds. I went to college. I did not say that word. It was close.
Yeah, you're right.
I was like halfway through. So I'm like,
he went down a couple floors.
so I said, I didn't even wait till the end of the year. I was like, can I switch out of this adult floor? These people are boring. I'm going back to college to have some fun. I mean, I wanted to do well in school, but
That's assisted living, bro. What do you mean?
Wow,
Like,
yes.
come on, like you can't have this 40-year-old.
I don't know 40-year-old. We had this one guy. This guy, I'll never forget him. His name was Tom, right? He had narcolepsy. He's living in the dorms. He must have been like 45 years old, dude.
This right here.
He'd be eating a sandwich and he'd pass out and bang his head on the table.
These are all we just talked about before the
Yeah.
show. Certain things that used to happen in your lifetime
Yeah.
that you can never do again.
Say it.
You cannot have 40-year-old
No.
men
No.
in a dorm with 17-and-a-half-year-old
No.
children eating subs and trying to take tests. Talk about you want to
No.
study. No, we ain't
I wanted to
studying.
be with the 18-year-olds, the
The
19-year-olds.
adults were always the worst.
Would you like a shot of
Yes.
tequila?
That's pretty wild.
This is
I
unacceptable.
thought it was wild when it was co-ed doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah,
I
like-
like it. And then they said to me, when I wanted to switch, they're like, do you want to be an RA? I'm like, screw that, RA.
I was an RA for 1 year.
Of course
It was
you
terrible.
are, Anthony. I don't want to be an
I would
RA.
never do that.
I want to party with these people. I don't want to
never do that.
be the police.
Maybe or maybe not party with some of my residents and break the
Okay.
rules.
All
But
right,
anyways, my top 5.
Run your
All
list.
right, here we go.
Run your list.
Number
All right,
5.
so number 5 is Josh Gordon. He was the first Browns player I remember being excited to watch when he did play.
It
Yes.
wasn't often.
He was-
But think about this again. This man had like 1,600 yards playing with the worst quarterbacks.
Bum.
Hoyer,
Jason Campbell.
Brandon Whedon.
Yeah, it was bad.
He was absurd that year.
Yeah, it was.
that
it was
one
off-
year.
it was off
He-
the point.
And he missed 2 games, and he's still like 1,600
He
yards.
used to catch the ball and just slowly walk away from
It was like a
everybody.
work of art.
Just
And-
like
Yes,
it
this.
was.
And
Smooth.
listen, in the end, he knew what the rules were,
Yeah.
but the rules were stupid.
Well, you
Picked
know,
up some
well,
was stupid.
curricular
Well,
activity.
He was literally a Hall of Fame player.
Talent.
He's
no
a Hall
doubt.
of Fame player.
No doubt.
Crazy how the rules
Supplemental
have
draft.
changed
Yeah.
since
And-
his time.
And he's still around, but he's not.
No,
he's
he
not
ain't
that guy.
new.
He
Not
ain't
to
that
say,
guy.
Nah.
All right,
So,
no, that's
Bull,
a good
you're
choice.
going to hate number 4.
Josh
That's
Gordon
it.
has me blocked on Twitter, by the way.
Well, this guy does have you blocked on Twitter
Why
as
does
well.
everybody got you blocked?
I got
Number
only 3
4
guys.
is Baker Mayfield.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Because he got me excited. I always want the Browns to do well.
got
even though I am a Broncos
bamboozled.
fan. That first year when he took us to the playoffs, I have never seen this city so happy.
It
and
was
I
exciting.
So excited.
I'll give you that. There's many things that bother me about Baker. The most important, I hate fake tough guys. He's a fake tough guy, right? Isn't he a fake tough guy?
Yeah,
you don't agree with
just
that.
talks.
You don't
He
agree
just
with
talks
that.
a little.
No, it's fair.
Baker would get his ass
It was
kicked in a
time to
fight
move
by
on,
anybody.
but
You
he
think
did get me
so?
excited.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, but
He's that
I've always said this, and people can say what they want.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield is by far one of the most popular Cleveland Browns of all time. And you could throw Jim Brown in that mix. You could throw Bernie in that mix. I said he was more popular than Bernie. You got people that are driving to Carolina to watch him
That's
practice for another squad
got a cult.
with his Brown. It's a cult.
You got a cult going on.
It's slightly.
That's not, so you're 2 for 2 and guys. There's 3 guys that have blocked me that played for the Browns.
I don't know
Baker,
who the third one is.
Josh
but I don't
Gordon,
think
and
anybody
Odell.
else that I
Odell's
have
the
on.
third one.
Odell
I don't know why
Odell
Odell blocked me.
blocked you?
Oh, yeah, no,
I've really
Odell's
stopped saying much bad about. I killed. I didn't even really kill Josh Gordon,
Yeah.
but Baker I killed.
You must have
That's
hit. You hit a nerve.
Yeah.
You hit a
So number three, I think we'll all agree on here is Joe Thomas. I don't think his record will ever be
He should be
beat for
number
snaps.
1 on your
Yeah.
list.
And also, his beer from Great Lakes, 10 out of 10. I don't
Really?
even like beer that much. I still have the can. It's really
All right.
good.
Joe Thomas number 3.
Joe Thomas 3.
It's actually a good list so far. I mean, except for the
can't hate.
Baker thing, but go ahead.
Baker, but he's 25 years
he
old.
don't know.
Like,
He don't know.
My 3 honorable mentions for this are DeQuell, Leroy, and Tim Couch. 'Cause there are contributors and there were former players.
Everybody on the show is honorable
Hey,
mention.
before your lifetime, DeQuell just retired like 5-6 years ago.
It don't matter.
I don't think I remember watching him play, though. So moving on.
DeQuell was awesome. Go ahead.
All right, number 2, Myles Garrett. He's a giant nerd like I am. He plays Dungeons & Dragons. I was really sad we couldn't go to his Dungeons & Dragons event. And the man's a tank.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really call. I mean, Myles Garrett does nerdy things. I'll give you that, but he's not a nerd. You can't be Myles Garrett and be a nerd.
By the way, man, I didn't see. Y'all don't understand.
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons, that's another cult, man. They walk,
That one is a cult. 100%.
they walk around with
But you can't make fun of it if Myles Garrett's doing
nine-sided
it.
dice and everything. You gotta. They just. And people don't get
you
it.
said 9-sided.
It's 9-sided dice.
It goes up to 20
How does
sides.
that work?
And
I
then,
played it.
I'll
when I
show
was
you.
a kid.
Dice?
Yeah. The biggest one is a 20-sided
I've
dice.
never heard of this.
I got a 20.
Let me roll
I play like a dice baseball game with my son that he likes to play, and then we have a 20-sided die.
Hey man, my mom and dad
How is it
religious. They don't
20
believe in
sides
no
on a
dice.
dice?
No
You
dice.
don't have no dice. Don't be. They took the dice out of Yahtzee. Give me them dice.
Because she knew what she was going to do with them.
Throwing them in
Look,
the
rolling
You
them
know,
dice.
how many times I walked in the bathroom and
And if the dice got more than 5 or 6 sides, they're like, oh no, that's demonic. Oh, them demonic.
Any truth to the rumor that Urban was playing strip dice with the
Oh
coach?
my God! There it go. There it go.
that Urban lives.
There it is.
He
Set
gonna
you
block you
Poor
next.
Urban, he's gonna block me.
Talk about, I don't
We're
know
just
why
gonna
they
get that
blocked
list
me.
keep going. yeah.
Come on, let's go. Number
What's your
one.
number
Number
one?
one.
All right, so number 1 is a dead giveaway. If you can see my jersey today, it's Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb.
I love watching him play football. I'm not a huge football guy. He is my favorite player to watch football. He's the first Browns jersey I ever bought. I think he's the only football jersey I've ever bought, actually.
I mean, Nick Chubb. It's hard to say anything bad about Nick Chubb. It's impossible
there's
to say
nothing
anything
bad
about
to say
him.
about
So
him.
go down the list here.
Yeah.
I want to hear everybody. I want to hear our takes on
Yeah.
our favorite Browns players of all time.
Oh, of all time.
Yeah.
I didn't get
Well,
to
you
watch
guys
him play,
grew up
but
Brown.
it's Jim Brown for me.
Okay,
you didn't see him play. How could he be
I
your
watch
favorite player?
YouTube is a thing.
All right, so
It
that's the one person. How many? You got any more?
Oh, I got 5.
Yeah, come on. Come on here.
Jim,
All right.
Joe,
Joe Thomas.
yeah, Joe Thomas.
Yeah.
I like Josh Gordon. I was a huge Josh Gordon fan when he was here.
But no guys on the current team. Is it because you played against these guys?
Denzel Ward.
Denzel Ward, he's your buddy.
This guy
What does that have to do with
stay
it?
shade, throw
Joe
shots.
Hayden.
It's shade.
Joe Hayden.
Yeah.
Joe Hayden was a good Brown. Yeah,
All right, so
I like Joe Hayden.
let me give you mine.
Go ahead.
Jim Brown,
Yeah.
Greg Pruitt, Leroy Kelly, Paul Warfield, and I'll go a little deeper on this one here. There was a guy here. They used to terrorize. I used to love Joe Turkey Jones. Yes, I did.
I'm gonna go. Only I got one sign something. That's it. So I got Paul Warfield. Gonna do that one. We're going to do Jim Brown. We're going to do that one. I got to put Josh Gordon in there. Got to. And then I'm going to go back deep. Eric Turner. I was a big Eric Turner fan. Yeah. He was the J.B. Ronnie Lott here. So Eric Turner.
Forget about him.
And I'm going to do – this is tough, man, because I like Leroy a lot. I think it's a tie between Leroy and Eric Metcalf because them was the backs at the time, right?
Yeah.
But I could have did a lot of other, but yeah.
But I didn't grow up a Browns fan, but I did like Ozzie Newsome a lot when I was a kid.
I
liked Ozzie Newsome was one of my favorite players as a kid. I really liked him. I always paid attention to the Browns because my dad had been a Browns fan as a kid, so I always kind of kept an eye on them. Nick Chubb I love. He's my favorite player now. Nick Chubb by far is my favorite player now. I'm trying to think. I also believe it or not, this guy really had no career, but he and I sat at a baseball game once and had a long conversation and I enjoyed talking with him. Greg Little. Remember Greg Little?
Yeah.
He and I had a really nice conversation once, and also I was pretty friendly with Joe Schobert, so I like him too.
Hey, I forgot.
Yeah.
Bernie.
And you can't leave out Bernie.
I can't leave out Bernie.
There's a lot of guys, and there's some guys that, people forget, there's a lot of one-hit wonders for the Browns that has some,
Peyton Hillis.
He
was so mad.
Braylon Edwards had a hell of a year. Hell of a year.
Me and him got into a Twitter beef.
Hell of a year.
Yeah.
Y'all kind of the same cat, though.
No, because
y'all, they're the same.
Wait, who'd you get into Twitter beef?
Braylon Edwards. Because he
went Michigan.
So it was All-Star Weekend.
He was Michigan on you.
Yeah, he was talking that. He was basically something about somebody said that the All-Star Weekend wasn't good or something. And he gonna say, well, it's in Cleveland and blah, 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 so that's why. And I'm like, bro, we paid you money. You had a good career. The best years you ever had was with the Browns. You still mad. Like,
OG, they got the same beard. If they was in the club, they got the same dimmer. They got the same.
Don't do that.
The same girls like them. They be like, ooh, it's Tyvus, and then it's Braylon. It's the same cat.
Hold on. I gotta back you down because we Ohio State.
Yeah, don't do that.
We first of all, we Big Ten snobs, so I want to tell you that. So, so long as you know that, right?
Now.
And you cannot put us and the Michigan dudes on level ground here. There's something different about that.
Absolutely.
Some of them good.
If you come on the show, y'all good. They good with you.
Now it's funny now, but the Michigan State dudes is top of the line. Right? They top of the line. I could roll
Can't
with
get
them
over
all
that.
day.
Shout out to.
By the way,
it's not against my boy Leroy, but I just
shout out to Eric Snow, man.
I ain't got no problem with the team up north play. I told y'all, I got a couple of them that I'm cool with till this day.
Tyvus has more animosity towards Michigan guys than any Buckeye I've ever met.
Because they're not good, and they just they think they're good, but they really not.
I've met a lot of Buckeyes, and but most of the Buckeyes I know played when Dustin played. You played newer, so it's a little fresher.
Bull, I don't like people that.
I appreciate. Nobody appreciates hating other people like I do.
The world, they gas them up every single season like they're gonna be somebody, and they not. Like
they do the same for Notre Dame too, don't they?
Don't get me started.
All right, let's get to a team that's not.
Sorry, Steve.
Let's get to a team that's not been overrated. That's the Guardians. Nobody thought they'd be any good going into the season. They did lose last night, and McKenzie was cruising there, and then he gives it the big home run. Was it Bogarts that hit it? I think it was Bogarts. I can't remember now who hit the home run. I think it was Bogarts. And obviously they miss an opportunity there. They lose. So on this road trip, they now go to play Tampa Bay this weekend. They have split the first 8 games. It's a very tough road trip. I was hoping they'd go 6-5. They can still do it if they take 2 out of 3 from Tampa. Then they come home and play a bad Arizona team and then a very good Houston team.
Right. Houston won.
But how surprised are you guys that the Guardians are where they are? Very much in the mix for the division and the wild cards. Really, they're right there with every team outside of Houston and the Yankees in the American League.
Surprised. I wouldn't say that I'm surprised. I was hopeful for this to be the case in this scenario, and they just kind of answered my wishes. Minnesota's tough, man. I think they can get it done. It's that Houston and that Rays one gonna be pretty tough. But they can get up in the poll. Who does Minnesota play? Did we got that? Who they playing?
No, I don't think we have their schedule handy. But it doesn't matter. You can't. Right now, it's still too early. You can't worry about who the other team's playing. You got to take care of your business.
Listen, I still think they got to make a trade for
they got to make a couple of trades. Because I brought up one trade yesterday.
That's the only way that they're going to have a shot.
Well, I mean, they're here. I'm surprised, right? I don't think anybody around here telling you that they thought they were going to be in the mix like this is probably dreaming, right?
I was dreaming. I said that.
We're in a great position, and I told you every game, every series after the All-Star break was going to make it a very important series for the Guardians. We're in a great position.
Yeah,
we have a chance.
Yes.
Now I also believe that you got to make a move. I mean, you're in the mix here. You cannot say I'm 10 games back. I don't have to do a thing. You're in the mix here. Mm-hmm. You have to show this fan base that you are committed to their dollars that you want to come to the turnstile.
Jose ain't leave that money on the table for nothing.
The trade deadline is Tuesday at 6 p.m.
You know, I think, and sometimes really diehard Guardians fans don't understand it, right? Because in their heart, baseball people are baseball people. They want to support baseball. They want to support the Guardians, right? And so when people that are in the fringes say, well, listen, man, you call me when they decide they act like they want to win. And you say, but they're competitive. They do want to win. No. See, the goal isn't competitive, right? At some point in time, you got to realize that to get the fringe fan, you actually have to reach out and say, look, let me just show you this, right?
Right.
Have you ever, like, you go home and your wife, right? She don't want you spending no money, right? Right? But she wants you, if you show her something, hey, look at this, honey. This works for me and you. Look at this.
Yeah.
And I could have got it. I got it for $200 less than what I could have got it.
Oh, yeah.
And now, okay, look, you look like you done got her a deal. You being frugal, and you thinking about the both of y'all, and you win. But if you come up in the house and you ain't never brought nothing in there, and the first thing you get is a pair of shoes, we're not looking at that. The Guardians have to come in and say, look, hey, I understand this is a Browns town. I understand that the Cavs we compete with the Cavs, but we got to make moves because the Cavs is making moves. There is Garland, Mobley. And I always want to say that economically you're competing for those entertainment dollars.
All right, well, let me ask you this, guys, because none of you guys are diehard baseball fans, right? You guys, obviously, you pay attention.
I'm an athlete, so.
But you're not diehard. You're not locked into every game.
No, I'm not locked into every game.
Right? You know, you're not like Jay and me who are like total nerds about baseball. So if the Guardians make some really, like, big moves, they go get a real legitimate hitting catcher, they go get another starting pitcher, maybe get a good outfielder, whatever. Are you more interested? Are you more locked in?
I'm invested in because now I see, well, okay, now when we play the Yankees, I feel like we got a chance. If they play the Yankees today, you in a series, you 3-4-1.
Bull said
maybe you get one game or you get swept.
Wait a minute. Bull said that baseball is so unpredictable.
Not when the gap.
That's what he said.
Not when the gap.
Listen, that's the one thing, the one advantage that baseball has over the other sports.
See?
You could look at it that way. Is that, I mean, think about when the Guardians, at the time the Indians, went to the World Series.
Yeah. Yep.
They had half the pitching staff was out. Mm-hmm. They were not the better team in any of those series, and they won them all and fell just one game short against the Cubs. And the Cubs at the time, considering what the Indians roster looked like at the time, had a significantly better roster. The Cubs were completely healthy. The Indians were not, and yet they played right with them.
They got us Andrew Miller though.
Exactly. So if they could, the biggest hole to me right now is they have like 2 or 3 massive holes in their lineup. If they did this blockbuster Cubs trade that I talked about yesterday, and they got Contreras and Ian Happ, well, now all of a sudden you have a legit middle of the lineup, and that's a whole different story. I doubt they would make a trade of that magnitude. I'm not that optimistic they're going to do anything significant, but I hope I'm wrong because I do think it will spark interest if they make some significant moves.
This is a sports town, and it will respond to those who are ascending to try to get to the top. The Guardians are in a position that they can make some moves.
Yeah.
The question is, financially, do they want to do that?
Yeah.
Do they want to parlay and put the cash out there to do it? But you have a chance.
Yeah.
And this town has shown in the past that they will respond to winning teams.
Yes.
I don't care if it's the Cavaliers, the Browns, the Indians, they will respond. To G's point, those on the fringes are sitting back like, okay.
Show me something.
We've seen this movie before.
Right.
I could take my dollars and take them somewhere else, right? Until you show me that you all in, then I'm gonna stay out.
And it's amazing if you think about it, how good what an advantage they have as a franchise in terms of front office and manager, because they have been the most successful franchise in this city for the most part for the last 30 years. They're consistently in the mix. They're never or they're very rarely terrible, and they've been in the playoffs a ton of times. And baseball, of the three sports, is the hardest to make the playoffs, least amount of teams, and yet even with their lower payroll now. 15, 16, 17, they had a significantly higher payroll than they have now, and they need to get back to that. There's no excuse for them not to spend some money. Their payroll is ridiculously low. The team has overachieved. The manager's done a great job. We know the front office rarely gets it wrong when they make a trade.
Yep.
So you got to show faith in your front office, your manager, and the players that have performed so far, and give them more ammunition.
And you just said sometimes, you said Jose Ramirez gave money back.
That's right.
Left it on the
ton
table.
Of money. A ton.
Left it on the table, and you better do something. I'm sure if I was Jose, I would be the first in that office every day. Like, if that was the case, give me the money.
Yeah, right.
Give me my money, because if y'all gonna let it just sit there, then it could go in my pocket.
Right. That's a great point, because he took well under market. He took more under market value than maybe any baseball player I've ever seen. That was not, that was about to become a free agent, not like a young player who's still pre-arbitration and something like that.
And if you telling me, and all I hear this all the time, if you telling me that you got the best front office in terms of making moves, you got one of the best farm systems, and you got a manager that you believe is the best in X's and O's. Give him the weapons. If you give him a couple things,
even if
you give him, he's gonna be able to work with that. And in 16, I watched more games, just as many games in terms of day by day with the Cavs, who were NBA Finals champs, and with the Indians at the time. I watched and went to at least 10 games, and watched a substantial amount, 30, 40 games on TV. Now that's because I knew what I was watching. They was competing at the highest level.
Even if you willing to make these trades, even if, because Shane Bieber's name has been buzzing.
Well, that's a different. Now that might be something where they trade. The Indians have done this in the past. They buy and sell at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
They did it when they traded Bauer. They did it when they traded Clevenger. How'd those trades work out? Pretty damn good.
Yeah, they did.
Right? And Bieber's not going to sign a long-term extension, so if you feel like you can get a lot for him and then get another young pitcher in his place and get some hitters, I got no problem with that. Bieber's not been great anyway. He's been good. But
is it?
They need a pitcher, though. So I don't know that they'll trade Bieber. I think they won't. But I wouldn't stun me if they did, but I don't think they will.
If they only give you one, they say we can give you an arm or we can give you.
I got to get a catcher that can hit. If they can only do one thing, if they only spend legit money on one guy, you got to go get Wilson Contreras. He is top 5, maybe top 2 hitting catchers in the league, and he makes a huge difference. You are getting nothing out of that position offensively. And while I'll admit that Hedges and Mahle are a little better than Contreras on the defensive side, Contreras is completely adequate defensively. He's solid. He's not bad. It's not like he's a negative. He's just, more near the middle in terms of defense. But from what they have to him offensively is like going from Baker to Deshaun Watson at quarterback.
I tell you what, if Hedges makes it past the trade deadline, I'm going to get you a jersey.
I will wear it. If you buy it,
I'm going to buy it.
I think it'll be on the clearance rack for 99 cents, so it won't cost you much. All right. Why would you even make that jersey? All right, guys, let's get to some. Did you guys fix the standings yesterday when Mike screwed me out of?
I think so.
I better
think
hope
Mike
so.
fixed them. I'm going to trust that he did.
I didn't have a good day yesterday. I think I went 1-2 yesterday.
I tell you, I called him this morning on accident.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, he was
up.
Did
he answer?
He answered. He was up. I was like, why you up this early on vacation, bro?
Plus, he's in the central time zone.
Yeah, he's probably somewhere jogging.
All right.
Look at that.
Tyvus is the new percentage leader.
Watch out, man.
Tyvus has 3 at-bats.
Yeah.
Listen,
I got 70 more wins than you.
Listen, y'all ain't about to rain on my parade. I'm up. I'm up.
All right, here we go. I'm up 6 on you and Jay. Here we go. What do we got? First
All right,
bet.
so first bet today is Guardians, a 1.5 over the Rays.
Oh, y'all hilarious.
All right, plus 1.5, by the way, to clarify, means the Guardians are getting 1.5 runs.
Right.
Yeah.
So if the Guardians lose by 1, you still win the bet. We all got good bet on this.
Yeah.
All right, bet number 2. Steven Kwan will record a hit.
Nah.
happening. It's happening.
Nah.
It's
Whoa,
happening. It's happening. Hit the Quan on him. Hit the Quan on him. I'm going with it.
Whatever happened.
Chill out. He's been a little better lately.
Chill out. He got with Young Thug and stuff, and bad stuff happened.
Oh, is that his lyric from a song?
Yeah.
It's the day.
I was lost in the soup on that. Not a surprise. All right, let's go to the third one here.
All right, third bet today is over 7.5 runs in the Guardians and Rays game.
All right, G and I are together in this.
Me and Ty was going.
Yeah, low scoring game.
This is why I'm up.
Low scoring. Anybody gonna be.
This why I'm up right now.
That's a lot of runs, man.
Last time I said they won't score, they scored. I'm going to score this time.
All right. And that's good bet, bad. By the way, for me, rap music ended in like 1989.
Wow. So
I only like rap music. I only like 80s rap.
It's actually it's artists out here with good music.
Yes.
What's that?
It's actually artists out here with good.
I don't really like any new music of any genre.
I think
I really
everybody
don't.
has a shelf life. I think after you get to a certain age, it's very difficult to still scour the internet for new artists. I tell my brothers, hey, if y'all ain't bring it to me, I ain't listening to it. I got 10 jobs. I don't got time to be listening to mixtapes. I can't do it.
I can't think of any band or artist that has started in the last 20 years that I really like. Of any music genre.
No artist?
Jay-Z.
I mean, there's some artists
Not
out
my
here.
cup of tea.
Beyonce?
I like Run DMC. I like Will Smith. That's my.
He like that good, clean, wholesome rap.
Run DMC isn't clean. What are you
Listen
talking
to
about?
J. Cole. That's good, clean.
He likes Chamillionaire too.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Chamillionaire is?
I have no idea who that is.
Oh, man.
I like,
don't get me started on it. That was my boy.
I like the
when I was a
Humpty
kid.
Dance. Take your chance. Do the hump.
That clean, wholesome.
Going back.
Yeah, because I'm really clean and wholesome, G.
Hey, ask the show. I know we got some questions.
Yeah, let's get to ask the show here.
What is the time here?
What's your favorite rap song? The Humpty
Yeah, so we
Dance.
did ask the show.
Remember he had that fake nose in that video?
my goodness.
What's that guy's name again? Anybody remember
Shock
that?
G,
Shock
man.
G.
Shock G.
That was his name?
R.I.P. to Shock G.
He's dead?
He just died last year.
Really?
Yeah.
What the hell happened to him? Was he a one-hit wonder? Do you have any other
I
songs?
mean, black rappers have a very defined shelf life.
Right.
Like, if you make it past 40, you
Ice
good.
Cube's been around a long time.
He don't rap.
Cube ain't made a record in so
But he
long.
was a rapper.
Yeah, Cube was on, but
You made it. One of you that made it.
Cube, like,
Cube transition.
Cube should get more respect than he get. I mean, he wrote
Boys
a
in the
lot of
Hood.
raps.
That's an all-time
Cube
movie.
was hitting hard.
Tech Nine's been around for a while. All right, but anyways, we're doing Ask the Show.
Yeah.
So we
Tech
went
Nine.
out, and anytime we ask the show, we do it with PCC Airfoils. Looking
course
for a
we do.
job with career advancement and great benefits? PCC Airfoils is a leading manufacturer in Northeast Ohio. And all locations of PCC Airfoils in Eastlake, Menor, Wickliffe, and Minerva are hiring for all positions starting at $18 an hour and up. Plus, get a full benefit package, paid time off, and signing bonus. Apply online at precast.com/careers to learn more.
What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up with PCC Airfoils and walk away? That was terrible.
That was a stretch.
That was a waste. I had nothing. I didn't think about it previously.
Jay is somewhere with shoes
Cringing.
on with no socks.
No socks.
His ankles
With
are
a smoking
taped
jacket.
with a smoking chain. He said, "That's terrible, boy."
And an ascot.
Yeah.
And then, oh yeah.
No socks.
Smoking a pipe maybe.
Yeah.
Jay don't wear socks, man.
Jay, we're saying you're very white, Jay. That's what we're
Yes.
saying.
Thursday, the third.
Yeah.
Let's go. First, ask the show question. What do we got here? All right, this one's from Doug Kitts, who says, which person would do the best job opening up for Mike Polk for 15 minutes at a comedy show? Which one of us?
Yeah, which one of you guys?
I was bull.
I think G would be pretty good.
Nah, see, Bull would be like Bull can do like physical funny. Like if he just falls down,
Yeah, people would like that.
like people would like that. He just throws himself out in the crowd or takes
Like the
his
Chris
shirt off.
Farley, like being like Chris Farley.
Yeah, you could do. You could.
All you gotta
You
do
are like the Chris Farley of radio and television now.
I appreciate that. He was great. I hope I don't die.
Well, no.
But
You
just gotta throw out
something.
something. Yeah, like
All you gotta
Farley
do
was
is
awesome,
listen.
man.
Bull to get up there and say, all you gotta do is throw up a topic. Baker Mayfield, go. And he'll go on a 15-minute rant.
Urban Meyer, go.
Like he skeet shooting.
Yeah. Like,
Oh, man. Well, I
He'll go on
appreciate
a
the
full
support,
rant.
Jay.
yeah.
All right, what's question 2 here, Anthony? What do we got?
We can pull up the tag board here.
Okay. You're given $1 million from Eddie. Eddie's a big fan of the show. He tweets to us all the time. You're given $1 million to address a societal issue in your area. Oh, go back.
Which one?
He cut me off.
Sorry,
there.
I clicked the button.
It's all right. What are you doing with it? That is a great question. That's a very deep question.
That is deep.
That's a hard question to
million?
answer, but You give it $1 million. What societal issue are you dealing with? I mean, there's so many. I don't even know which one I'd pick.
This right on my alley.
I need more money than that.
Yeah.
I would.
Let's say in theory, that $1 million could solve that issue.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Brad. You start us off. You're the politician.
You're right up my alley here.
Yeah.
Right? So first of all, one of the things I would probably work on is there's a homelessness issue out here.
Yes.
And there are folks out here that are displaced. And you can even start with the Army veterans, right, that are coming back here. They have no, I mean, they're living under bridges. And
it's a disgrace.
It's a disgrace.
It's really sad.
It's a freaking disgrace out here.
Yeah.
So we should take some of that money and prop up, because we have a lot of abandoned things here. We could repurpose that. The government could help come in here and help repurpose it. There's no reason a veteran should be living homeless here. And there really, in this country as great as it is, there's really no reason why anybody should be homeless in this country.
Nobody. Nobody should be hungry. Nobody should be homeless. It's a freaking disgrace.
I would donate all my money, get it together with other people, and we will eliminate endless terms in the United States Senate. We will get rid of that tomorrow. I need to lobby the hell out of that, because I tell you what, half the reason these people, veterans, is out here with no place to go, living under bridges, is because y'all like wars, but don't like taking care of the people who participate.
Money for wars,
and they up there just sitting around, hanging out, drinking tea, and having back and forth. We ain't not gonna do this. We'll go golfing later on, and we'll be all good. No, I need you to get out here and get a job too. You can't be 97 years old and been in the Senate 60 years.
That's ridiculous.
By the way, one thing G is referring to, and we brought veterans up, there was a bill in the Senate.
Oh, that was ridiculous.
Where it got filibustered. 42, happened to be Republican senators, all of them, voted against a bill that would provide health benefits for veterans
that have been exposed to
cyanide, Agent Orange.
This is an absolute disgrace.
They showed a special one of the people that had been exposed to. I mean, he is messed up, and I don't know how you can go home at night and sleep. Right? I just don't.
Yeah, I mean,
but sometimes when you're in D.C., you're cocooned off so much that you forgot.
They're there for all the publicity shoots with the military members. I tell people this all the time.
Yeah. The action, if you equate it to an apartment building, the action is on the first floor.
Yes.
That's what action is.
Yep.
They're living in the penthouse up top. Now they're looking down and saying, it looks like this. But if you go down and spend some time on the first floor, it's a little different. So if you're living on the first floor, you got to lock your windows at night. You got to check out, make sure ain't nobody peeping in here. Right? When you're up top, you don't have to worry about such things. Right. That's the problem.
Tybus? Very complicated question.
It is, but I'm with I don't like the homeless and the hungry either. So I would definitely take that money and try to end that. I get them some shelter and some home, because even when I leave here and I drive up the street, they sitting outside right there, and that's sad that in 2022 we still got people doing that. But y'all spending all this money on wars and all this stuff that doesn't matter, and trying to build walls and stuff like that. But we got people right here. You can't take care of the people that's right here in your own country. So,
I want to double back on it, but I take it another step further. You have there used to be a time in this country, there are a lot of people here that have mental health issues.
Sure.
And there used to be facilities and places where we could take people to try to give them some assistance. Well, the feds and the state stopped that a while ago.
Yep.
Right. So now they have put those people on the street.
Mm-hmm.
Or in jail with
you only stay there for a short time, and you get back out on the street.
Yeah.
And so then they're left to the municipalities and the little counties and villages to deal with these people, and we don't have the facilities to do that. So it just creates a cycle for them, right? And I know this because I see it from time to time in my own community.
My dad was a case manager, worked at Massillon State Hospital for a long period of time. And what happened was, he had a caseload of 20 people that he used to go, and he was in place to make sure that they were taking their meds, they were seeing the doctors, being able to get counseling, making sure they were eating correctly, and then working with law enforcement in the area to let them know who they are. This is my guy. This is what's going on with him. So when they pulled up and they may have an incident, so it's a community effort, and we don't have any of those guardrails. We don't have any of those programs anymore.
Guardrails been removed.
And it's a free for all now. Yeah. Everybody, the richest country in the world is everybody for themselves.
No, it's NIMBY. It's not in my backyard. You go take care of that. It's not in my backyard.
There's so many things. Obviously, you guys have talked about a lot of them already. There's so many that are coming to mind. One of them is we should not have for-profit prisons in America.
No.
It encourages people to
be
incarcerate
incarcerated.
other people. Nobody should be in drugs for any sort of nobody should be in jail for any sort of drug use. It's ridiculous. Whether it's using or selling, there should be nobody for drugs. If you're a drug addict, you have an addiction, you have a disease, so you need to go get help, not be thrown in jail. I think our prisons are overcrowded, and it's because of for-profit. But so that's something important to me. But also, first of all, everybody should have to vote in America. Election day should be mandatory. Everybody should get paid and not have to work that day, or put it on a weekend. I don't care. Every American should have to vote. You should automatically be registered to vote when you get any kind of license or any kind of ID. They should automatically register you. There should be. We have enough technology that we should be able to vote online. Everybody should be able to vote early. We should every year, especially in the poorer communities, we see people standing online for 3 freaking hours to vote. That's insane.
At minimum.
At minimum, there's no excuse for that. I would take all the dark money out of elections. You cannot, the whole thing's crazy. I could go on and on forever. Yeah. They're all great topics. But let's get to a lighter subject because this is all serious stuff. Go ahead. All right, Jack says, you can give your most hated celebrity or famous person one embarrassing trait feature. What is it?
Wow.
I don't have a hated celebrity. I don't hate.
Let me see. I gotta find somebody.
But the people I hate already have that, right?
Right.
Like Trump looks like a baboon, right, with his hair. Not a baboon, an orangutan, right, with the orange hair.
I don't hate nobody.
Baker's already. I don't know what Baker's.
Hate is such a strong word.
Hate is definitely a strong
word.
I don't hate. Yeah, I guess I don't hate Baker.
People that I dislike.
Yeah.
I wish they had to tell the truth all the time.
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if your nose grew like Pinocchio was real, and if you lied, your nose actually grew?
Like they literally could not lie, right? If you said, hey, do you think your wife looks great in this outfit? They'd have to be like, no, she's terrible.
So there's some liar.
I really like
this
my second.
Liar.
If you couldn't lie, that'd be awesome.
If you could not lie, I would love that. That's the worst trait that somebody would have. Because then they'd be like, man, my wife looks horrible today. I can't even do anything about it.
They asked Baker about the size of his you-know-what. He's got to tell the truth. He's small.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Did I just cross the line? Did we cross the line there? You know he ain't packing. Let's be honest. All right, let's get to the next one. She is stunned. He's stunned. He can't even move right now.
What is wrong with you? So stupid.
All right, Keith tweets, if you could eliminate one thing from your daily routine, what would it be and why? And we'll leave that up there because we'll get to the second question after. If you could eliminate one thing from your daily routine, what would it be and why, Tyvis?
There's two. I wish I could fly here instead of having that 2-hour drive.
The drive. Okay, that makes sense.
2-hour drive.
You get rid of your drive. Teleport. If you could
if I could just teleport here, easily.
Oh, man. Man, this is rough. I don't know, man.
One thing I get rid of is every day be stress-free. Yeah.
Get rid of the stress.
Scam likelies. I want all of them to stop. I don't want no more scam likelies.
Potential spam.
I agree. Them calls. I don't want no products for that. I just don't. I want my phone to ring for people I only know.
I agree with that because I don't even answer the phone.
Would you guys forego sleeping? Like, just you don't ever have to sleep again, and you can stay up 24 hours and it doesn't affect you?
I would definitely do that.
That'd be great. He doesn't sleep much.
I already do that anyway.
I'm about to say, I would definitely do that.
Yeah, but like if you could do it and it wouldn't negatively affect you.
Yes,
absolutely.
That'd be great. I'd be so down with that.
Actually, no. Like I would sleep more. Like I feel like like I would if I could just sleep regular, like 8 hours.
You sleep more?
I'll be like, I'll be out of here. I'll be out at 6 o'clock.
When I was in my 20s, before I went back to college, I used to there would be times where I was like 23, 24 years old. I was living in New York, and I would just drive into Manhattan. I was living in Brooklyn. I would drive into Manhattan, and there was always something going on. There was always some action in the streets, and it was just, I loved it, being out late at night.
So you was up 24 hours?
Well, not regularly, but once in a while.
City that never sleeps.
Yeah.
It was. When I was working in New York, later in my 30s, and I was filling in on the radio station there, I did a lot of overnight shows. So I would be done at like 5 in the morning, and I'd be bouncing around. There's always something going on in New York.
New York, the city
always
never
some crazy
sleeps.
stuff. All right, and the second question on that guy. Let's go back to that one because it's a good one too. What's the first thing you'd buy if you hit the lottery right now? Did somebody win last night or no?
No, it's tonight.
Let me look it up.
Oh, it's tonight?
It was last night, I thought.
No, it's tonight.
No, nobody won.
Nobody won.
No, because tonight is the drawing because I just bought tickets last night.
Okay, so there's a new one, right? Because nobody won, so now it's going on tonight. If you won 1.2 billion, I think if you took a lump sum after taxes, you'd only get about $400-something million. What's the first thing you guys would do, Brad? What's the first thing you would do?
Take that $400 million and stick it right in the bank. That's what I'd do.
Stick it in the bank? That's boring.
No.
All of it? You wouldn't do anything with some of it?
Because there's two ways. If you take the non-lump sum payout, right?
Yeah.
That's a year.
Soon as you pass away, that money is staying with them. Right? So, no, take the money.
I'm definitely taking a lump sum.
Take the money, lump sum.
So how much is the lump sum?
$490.
So if it's a
I don't know
billion,
for sure, but I would say it's somewhere
They
around
get
there.
$600 million in taxes?
Something like that.
So let's say it's half.
Let's say it's $500 million.
Yeah, I'll take that.
What's the first thing you're doing, G?
Oh, I already have this written out. This is one of my
This is your
hypotheticals.
question.
The first thing I do is verify that this is actually correct, right?
Yeah.
I verify that I have the winning ticket. Then what we do, we contact a lawyer.
Yeah.
I'm getting a lawyer in a security firm. My lawyer in a security firm makes sure everything is good, and I contact every one of my family members in second cousins, eighth cousins, whatever. They all show up. We will be in one location. I will run a PowerPoint presentation. In that PowerPoint presentation, I break this down. This is how much you get if you are a niece, cousin, nephew, inner circle family.
What about it's like a guy who says he's your cousin, but he's not really?
It doesn't matter. He can come in
You get
too.
a little bit.
So what we do, we get them all in the room, and we say, listen, here you go. Cousins, 20,000. Get up out of here. Cousins, come on. Aunts, we trickle it down and we work all the way down.
Yeah.
Once you get that money, you sign the contract. You sign
with
over there with my lawyers.
Get out.
Make sure, and by the way, pay your taxes on that, because this I'm counting this as tax charitable giving away. So you better
They're
claim.
not gonna pay the tax on it. You already paid.
You already paid.
Yeah, I said you paid the tax.
They don't have to pay capital gains.
No.
Okay, well, cool. Don't do that.
It's a gift you're giving them.
If you are a child, or if you are in an era where you are between the ages of 10 and 18, you automatically will get a college fund. All of you will get one. Now, you can't touch that money.
What about your play cousin?
We got
enough. We got enough.
We'll put him in here.
Yeah, we got
my
enough.
goal is $100 million will go to the sustaining of anybody I know. Once you
got
have that,
$390 left.
once you have that done, I now have a security firm. I now just disperse the security fund amongst my inner circle family members.
Okay.
If you're my cousins and your third cousins, you can get kidnapped. Don't get it twisted. Don't be out here doing too much, because you can get kidnapped. I tell my mom, you got to move away, and my inner circle family, I got to move away. You have security.
Would you accept this money anonymously, or you'll let the world know that you
But
did this?
it's just gonna get out. It's gonna get out.
Get out?
Because I'm gonna try to come back to work here the next day.
Oh, I am.
You working?
Oh, I'm definitely pulling up.
I'm pull up.
I'll pull up for sure.
And then Steve is gonna say,
You gonna pull over the bag?
with the bag.
All right.
Steve's gonna say, G, you can't wear your hat. And I'm gonna have a stack of money down there underneath there. And I'm gonna take it off. And be like, I gotta go.
I just bought Tegna.
And then I'm gonna get a lift. I'm gonna get a lift real quick with Jay. And then I'm gonna go to Jay and say, okay, you got a boat?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gonna come get us?
Yeah, I'm gonna come get y'all.
Come get us.
No, I would shout him out. And by the way, I would cash out my coworkers as well.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So
I said the same thing.
How much you got left?
Man,
I don't know how much he's saving for himself.
200. I got 200 million. The rest of that goes into some sort of annuity. Then I got a lot of family members in the Philippines.
He's still paying.
I'm still. You know how I got 12 brothers and sisters-in-law. They from the Philippines.
Damn.
Yeah, 12 of them.
Okay.
He's got the whole thing figured out.
Some of them is already on the payroll.
I got mine broken down, but it ain't.
All right, Tyvus, hit us with yours.
The first thing I'm doing off the rip is setting my kids up college funds. That's first thing. Boom. Then I'm gonna set up some type of trust fund. Once y'all hit 18, I give you $1 million. When you hit 25 or 30, you get the rest. Blah blah blah. That's the first thing I'm doing. Next, I'm doing is paying off all my family's debt. All their houses is paid for. Whatever car they want is on me. Then I'm coming in. And I'm going right up to Steve, and I'm going to say, Steve, how much is this show going for? He going to say, whatever. And I'm going to say, I'm going to come in with a duffel bag, and I'm going to drop it on, boom, it's right there.
You got the bag.
And the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to go live right then on the thing. And we're going to go out there and I'm going to tell everybody in the world, I'm raising the pay of all these workers here. Yeah.
So everybody get $1 million right there off the top.
Yeah, look at that.
Then I'm going down to Columbus and I'm gonna go right up to the radio station and tell them how much is this going for.
Oh yeah.
Boom. I'm firing everybody at the station.
Yeah. Get them out.
No, I'm just playing. I ain't gonna fire them. They get a raise as well.
Yeah.
And shoot, the crazy thing is, I'm still gonna have so much money left over. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the rest. It's too much.
I will go to sleep after that. I take my sleeping pills and go to sleep.
Gee, what is the nickname you gave me on the show?
What about my
Patty
wife?
LaBeouf.
My wife with me, so she getting
Yeah,
money.
she's fine.
She good.
The first thing I would do is go to every boss I haven't liked in my life and tell them off. Because right now I'm like, I don't want to burn bridges with all my old bosses.
It's already
I
done.
love Steve. I have nothing bad to say about Steve. But like and I have other bosses. My one boss, like when I was working in upstate New York, Brian Delaney, another great guy. I have nothing bad to say about him. But some other bosses I've had that I'm like, well, I better not say anything bad about them because I don't want to burn bridges because you never know when you're looking for another job or whatever. I'd go tell them off.
You just straight
Including
tell
people
them.
you and I know. So
We know like one person combined.
no, more than that. But so that would be the first thing. Then I'm moving to Hawaii. Forget it. I'm moving to Hawaii. I'll do the show still, but I want to do it from Hawaii. I'll fly you guys all out to do the show from Hawaii because I wouldn't want to stop working because I love doing this.
Yeah.
And you know what? Maybe I'll amend that. I'll live here in the summer and the fall, but the winter I'm going to Hawaii because I love Hawaii and I don't want to be cold anymore. That's it.
I think I would still live my life pretty much the same.
I wouldn't buy a car.
You just be stress free.
I get
like
a newer house.
I wouldn't have no stress. Like
I'd buy a newer house.
Now, Brad, you got daughters, right?
You gotta take care of
Would you give them the money? They're of age, right?
Yeah.
They're slightly responsible.
Yeah.
So would you give it to her now?
So what I would do is I would peel them all four off right away with something.
Something,
right?
something.
Then you have to stick aside because I know them, right?
See what I see?
I know them, right? And then you have to leave the extraction plan for when I leave the face of this earth, right? So it doesn't turn to a free-for-all over here.
Well, you know I was the favorite.
We're gonna do. Listen, this is how it goes down, Tyler. I put a friend of mine gave me a picture of my youngest daughter in the locker room in Maryland, right? And so I put that in a frame. So I set that up on the counter, right? My other daughter comes home and goes,
where mine at?
she the favorite.
Yeah.
I said, your boy, I'm like, it's just a picture. Where's my picture?
Fighting begins.
I said, so you have to lay it down strategically. So that means when you leave the face of the earth, there's an extraction plan.
That's right.
We're not going to fight over this house. We're not going to fight over all these assets. We're not going to do all this. You have to lay a road down here. And then you have to figure out when they need to come together. I know my four, right? They thicker than thieves. But when you leave, when we're cutting the deal, you're all gonna sign on the line here that I agree. Oh, you don't want to be in? Oh, we're buying you out then. That's how we're gonna have to put. You have to put this down here.
And by the way, you guys have daughters. I would have a beautiful agreement drawn up by my lawyer and team that it doesn't matter who you marry, they are not entitled to any pennies, any coins over this way.
That's a fact.
No coinage.
Yeah,
They
no
can't
bad.
kill, you got to put something if they kill you, they don't get any
no
money.
bags.
No money.
Yeah.
If I die,
All right, do we have one more? Yeah, give us one more.
We'll
got one
rapid
more.
fire and go.
Our last one is from Jonathan. What was the most embarrassing moment in Halloween that you all ever had?
We have a Halloween
I got chased in the park. You know how they do the what is it called? Niagara Falls, all that. They have the Halloween weekends and stuff. So they bring at nighttime, they bring all the masked characters out.
Yeah.
I got chased through the park by somebody. I was scared.
Really?
Yeah, it was not good.
You were just scared of their costume, or they were threatening you?
No, I was scared of the costume. I was a kid. I was like 7.
Oh, wow.
I took off.
Anybody else have an embarrassing Halloween moment?
Man, like when I was at OU's a big Halloween, everybody dress up. So I was dressed up, and my girlfriend at the time, man, she like passed out drunk, bro. So I had to like carry her back to her spot. But like you can't have no like big black dude.
I'm about to say this ain't a good look. This ain't a good look.
And I'm like, bro, like
where's
that's
this
not
story going?
That's not a,
they're like, whoa, this ain't a look.
And they're like,
and the lights come flashing.
And they looking at me like, did you do that? And I'm saying, I'm helping out, bro.
And the lights come flashing.
He started saying that like,
Come
whoa.
on here, son.
Man, look,
come
bro.
back to the house with me so we can talk to you.
Bro, I said, man, look,
What
man,
is this?
we had a conversation that next day. I said, listen, don't you ever put me in no position like that again. I'm gonna have to leave you at the spot. You're gonna have to fend for yourself.
That's not a
Was you down? Where was you at?
What was the
Where were you
ethnicity
at?
of her?
She was mixed. She was light
Where
skinned.
were you at?
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Where were you at?
I was at OU in Athens.
Oh,
yeah, it was
Lord.
bad.
Brad, you got an embarrassing Halloween story?
You pushed
No,
You and MJ ever get into anything at Halloween?
They wasn't really doing nothing like that. But I'll tell you, when my kids were younger, and this is out in Twinsburg, we would my ex-sister-in-law house, we would go around the neighborhood, and when they were walking to get the candy, the one thing is, it's not embarrassing, but the one household we used to go to, you know what they would do? They had candy for the kids, and they had drinks for the adults.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, it was the best.
Look at him, look at him.
So y'all go to the next couple houses. I got an eye
By
on
the
you,
way,
right?
public service announcement. Don't give kids an apple.
That boy pull the chair up. That's when you know it. Y'all go
and
ahead.
don't give any candy.
Sit right
to
here.
you,
And
right
if you
Sit
give
right
out
here.
candy,
Go
it
ahead.
better
They
be
go
wrapped.
get to
Yeah,
it.
Don't give no loose candy. What's this loose candy?
Don't give out candy corn. Don't give
Oh
out,
my God!
don't
No
give out-
apples.
Don't nobody want no
Get some
candy
nice
corn.
little. They actually, I don't even know if they do it anymore.
Almond Joys. I used to throw them out. I used to launch them out of my pail. Get
I would
that
just like
out
to go on
here.
record and say I love candy corn.
What about Almond Joy?
You're the one, huh?
Of course.
It's
I
me.
love
It's for
candy
me.
corn.
The Denver
Are you an
Broncos.
Almond Joy type guy?
I don't think I've ever actually had those.
Them was terrible.
Horrible.
Throw them out.
My favorite's Three Musketeers.
That's one of the
I
Snickers.
eat them.
That's one of the Snickers.
Everybody
too.
knows that the best candy is
Reese's?
Reese's
Oh, I hate
anything.
that.
I don't like
I
peanut
hate
butter.
that. I hate it.
Reese's or Kit Kats.
And
for
if
me.
they cut them in,
Kit Kats are good.
if they cut them in a little circle triangle and they make it Christmas trees or they make pumpkins out of them, they 10 times better. I don't know why.
All right, guys. Time for final takes. Tyvus, you are up first, buddy.
Oh man. I gotta wait.
There it is.
Wait,
There you go.
Okay.
Final take.
Okay.
There's the graphic. That's a long graphic.
That is
Very.
a long graphic.
Man.
Final take for me today is, well, to this year, so I've been playing football since I was 9 years old. I'm 28, so basically for 19 years, you know, I've been going into football and preparing myself for training camp and working out, and it dawned on me the other day that this is the last, I won't be doing it this year. And it's like, it's tough, you know, because you grow up and you do it for so long, and it's like your happiness and you're excited to do it and the grind. And I was one of those guys that fell in love with the process. And now that I haven't done it, and I'm watching all my friends that's still in the league do it, and I'm sad, y'all. I'm kind of depressed about it a little bit. Like I truly miss it. I tend to be a tad bit aggressive this time of year because for so long I always had to be aggressive, and I really watching myself and making sure I'm not, you know, speaking to my kids or doing anything negative like that.
Right.
And it's just rough on me right now. I truly miss the game, especially in the fact that I feel like I can still play. I'm still healthy enough to play. I'm still good. And the fact that I'm not is bothering me. So that's what's on my mind. I got a couple pictures. Anthony can show those pictures of me having some good times, man, playing
Anthony,
football.
you got those pictures?
If he got the pictures.
He said, "Oh yeah."
Yeah.
Wow. Well, yeah, it's a couple of pictures, and I was just going through my phone, and I seen them, and I'm just like, man, training camp is. That was actually JoJo right there, y'all. That's JoJo Natson who played for the Browns.
Oh, yeah.
It's a time with Indy. First NFL pick, first game in the NFL. Got a pick. Yeah, man, it's sad that I won't be doing it. So yeah, that's just on my mind.
Well, selfishly, we're happy you're here, but we sympathize.
We absolutely do.
Man, I will tell you, you know. See, here's the thing, man. I'll give you this. You know, I'm gonna just freestyle this one. See, a lot of people don't get, man. You know, for a lot of athletes, your best years is 18 to 25. But what you don't rarely realize is You know, when you get to 25, you got your whole life in front of you. You know, I told my mom the other day, I said, man, if you search Garrett Bush, you know, the first thing that come up, it don't got nothing to do with football. And that means more to me than football. Because when I was done and then didn't even make it to the league, didn't even make it to the highest level, it's that natural thing where you like, man, okay, what do I do? How do I get there? Like, this is all I've known for my whole life. Where's my guardrails? How am I going to get past this? And there's a level of depression. There's a level of not knowing what you're going to do, not knowing what your next move is. But I always tell you this. I tell people all the time, man, your next move can always be your best move. You got so much time in front of you. You got so many different things that you can do. And if you ask somebody today, what do you know Garrett Bush from? They're not going to say McKinley football. They're not going to say Ohio University football. They're going to mention what I'm doing now, today. They'll say the barbershop. They'll say Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. They say Locked On Browns podcast. That just goes to show you, you athletes, we are not just athletes. You got a lot to offer. You got more to offer. And I'm telling you, your future and your career is going to be better in this than it was in that. So I'm going to just let you know, keep grinding, because you got with something that a lot of people don't. A lot of people can only do football or talk, hang out and do sports. You can do both. And you can make just as much money and be as successful in this than you is in that. So just keep doing your thing and you'll be there.
Appreciate that.
Brad?
All right, so let me, before I get to my subject, I have to tell them, young fella, you got a bright future ahead of you. I told you that. Right? So the best years of your life are not playing, although that's all we knew. You got a big life. And if anybody is paying attention here, Big Ten Network, even though he's here with us with the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, this man has talent, right? Now, I see some of your lineup. Ain't got no talent. He got talent, all right? I'm just telling you, he got talent. Now, get me to the point. My subject matter today is I hope that everyone around here is paying attention to what's going on in Chicago. So if you have not been paying attention, the Bears are in the process of holding the city of Chicago hostage, right? Because the city of Chicago wouldn't play ball with the Bears early on. The Bears have now served notice on the city of Chicago that we've just bought these 300 acres up in Arlington Heights, Illinois, which is just north of O'Hare Airport. So we are taking potentially the Chicago Bears out to the suburbs, and we are taking with them the commerce that comes with them. They already practice in Lake Forest. So we're going to take the whole regime out of the city of Chicago. Can you imagine the city of Chicago without the Bears downtown? No. I mean, it's a travesty. Now you see the city of Chicago and Mayor Lightfoot and her organization coming to the 11th hour trying to put up renderings of what Soldier Field could look like if they redo it, 1,000 different things. Well, the Bears have some demands. And I don't think their demands were unrealistic. They were saying the facility that we have here, although it's historic, does not work anymore. We have to have XXX to be able to compete in today's market. And we have to have that. Let's see if Chicago turned a deaf ear on that, because they never thought the Bears would move themselves out of downtown Chicago. Well, it's a real possibility. So here's a note to my good friends here in Cleveland, state of Ohio, and Cuyahoga County. You better have your eyes wide open, because this movie is coming to a theater near you real soon.
There you go. I can't imagine the city of Chicago without the Bears. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. First of all, folks, before I do my final take, I just want to let you know that we've been talking about our goal to reach 11,000 subscriptions by the end of the month. Today is the last show of the month. Obviously, the month continues through Sunday. We are, 100 subscriptions away? Maybe 110, something like that.
We are 109 subscriptions away.
109 subscriptions. So if you haven't subscribed to the show, please do so immediately. Make sure you click the bell as well so you get the notifications. Obviously, when the Deshaun Watson news does break, selfishly again, because I'm going on vacation, I hope it doesn't happen next week, but it probably will, you'll get notified, and immediately we'll do a bonus show if we're not on the air at that time. So please make sure you subscribe. We need 109 more subscribers between now and Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So help us get there. Let's get the last 109. My final thought is it's so weird that tomorrow I will get on a plane for the first time since COVID started. It's been a rough couple of years for everybody, in particular my family. For those who don't know, obviously my wife was diagnosed with leukemia a couple of years ago. So it's been a particularly harsh couple of years. My wife is doing very well as she can be. She's still in treatment. But her treatment, the fact that we're able to travel is really amazing because when she first got diagnosed in November of 2020, at the time, frankly, we didn't even know if she was going to be alive in 2 years. There was so many unknowns when we first got the diagnosis. It was terrifying. And the fact that we're able to travel and go on this beautiful vacation, we're very lucky. Not everybody can travel. And so I feel very lucky to be able to have my wife doing great, recovering well, and we have the ability to go and take this trip. I am not looking forward to the actual travel because I have 3 flights. We're going to Seattle tomorrow, and then next week we fly from Seattle to Chicago, and then I spend a couple days in Chicago before coming home to Cleveland. So I'm not actually looking forward to the flights, but I'm really looking forward to the trips. In Seattle, we're seeing some good friends that lived with us here that moved to Seattle, and we're seeing their 3-year-old child for the first time. We're very close. They're like family to us. And then my sister and her family are meeting us in Chicago. I'm going to take my son to Wrigley Field for the first time, which I'm very excited about. He's excited about it. So anyway, it's just been a tough few years, and I'm very excited to be able to get away and have this trip. But I will have some FOMO. I'm going to miss you guys. I love doing this show. I really mean it. I'm having more fun in these last few months than I've had in a long time. And I will miss not being on the air next week, but I know you guys will hold down the fort great without me. And I may have to come in on my phone if the news breaks.
You coming in on your phone?
Oh yeah.
Or if the Guardians make a big trade, I'll jump in on that.
You coming in on your phone?
Yeah, I got to come in.
He didn't read his contract.
Right.
Yeah.
He didn't see it.
See that at the bottom.
So anyway, I'll see you all in 10 days, maybe, unless there's breaking news. We'll see you. So that's it for us today. Jay, we hope he feels better. He probably just wanted the day off to golf. I mean, let's be honest.
Jay, pull up at my house on that boat.
Yeah, really. When are we getting the invite? We were promised an invite.
I'm on a boat. Think you know a guy.
House.
Can't even get an invite.
Hey, listen,
That ESPN money.
Hey man, I want a meal. I want the house.
Let's go.
I want to boat to Detroit. Come on,
go.
Jay. Yeah, let's go.
All right, we'll see you Monday. It'll be these 3 guys and Jay on Monday, right?
Yes, that's who our Monday is, and then McNuggets is back in.
Oh, I'm in.
Producer
Mikey's back.
I'm back in my normal seat.
And shout out to Anthony. Give Anthony a round of applause.
He did a great job. He did a great
First
job.
time Mike has not been in the building for a show.
That's right.
I was a little nervous.
And we got Earl today. Earl
I didn't know. I was going to mention Earl, but I didn't know if he was
there
supposed
he is,
to
man.
mention it yet.
Get over here.
Get the camera on Earl for a
Get over here. Hurry up. We got 30
Hurry up.
seconds.
We got 30
dog.
seconds.
Earl.
30 seconds.
30 seconds, bro.
Earl is the newest member of our team.
More
He's
flavor
joining
in the
us.
building.
Yeah.
And so we're excited to have him aboard. Welcome aboard, Earl.
Thanks, man.
Who's starting in a couple of weeks. Yes, he is. All right, we'll see you all Monday right here
Outta here.
on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show.